know I make you feel good. And don't you wanna feel good, good, good? Sometimes I wish that we could go back before you got hurt, hurt, hurt. When before I was scared, now I'm feeling prepared. Don't you wanna feel good? Don't you wanna feel good, good, good?
When you say you were leaving, I thought that you meant it. I played the victim, you start as indifferent. Hindsight comes standard with rose-colored lenses. Hate to admit it, you're better off. Now you're too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it.
Maybe feeling change, I could remember all the reasons why we've been separate ways. Feeling all alone in your company, keeping you captive with guilty chains.
We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again.
Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again.
Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Hello everyone and welcome on in to RFDL Week 3 Day 1. I am Ecliptic Fades as always, joined by Arilax, Docky, and Firestreak. How are we doing today, guys?
Doing good.
Doing amazing. Ready to go.
Ready to go. We've got some great matchups for you guys today. I'm so excited to showcase some of the teams that are going to be playing this week. But first, let's talk a little bit about last week, as we did have some very interesting games. We're just going to pull up a couple of replays from the second day of last week while we talk about that. Guys, were there any standout matchups that you guys can think of from last week?
I mean, I feel like basically the best match is Game 5, going Purrsion Rebellion Foxhound. I'll talk more about that. Oh, we did talk quite a bit about that during the podcast, but watching that was fantastic. Yeah, that was my personal favorite, just entertainment value match.
Honestly, I really liked the the match of, I believe those are today's. Okay, so I can't reference off of those. No, it was Black Bunny versus BDS. Like that matchup was honestly really nice to watch. Like just seeing those two teams clash, it was just honestly amazing.
I mean, you guys just kind of took the two matchups I had in mind. So thanks for that, guys. But for the sake of the content, I think I'll choose the only other series that did not end in 3 games and say LumiMawcity and X3. I think we really got to see X3 at full force during that series. I did hear whispers that they weren't quite satisfied with their performance, but I mean, it really showed how good of a team they are, that they can have an off day and still really come out and show their stuff well. So, yeah.
Gotta agree, and right now we are looking at the end of what was one of the sweeps, which was OwOptic and Dignipaws, and there were some really good sweeps as well. OwOptic taking that one in 3, Claude9 beating out Twisted Tails in 3, and then I think also, what was our last match that ended in 3 as well?
I think Purrsion won?
Purrsion won Dignipaws.
Yeah, Purrsion won Dignipaws, that was it. Purrsion won, really showcasing why they are one of the top teams in the league right now. And honestly, one thing that I found really interesting is that we've had 2 weeks in a row now where the exact same amount of games have been played. We've had 3 sweeps, 2 Game 4s, and a Game 5 each of the first 2 weeks. Will we continue to see a trend of that this week? I'm not sure.
I mean,
I hope to see more Game 5s.
Yeah, honestly, I want to see more Game 5s as well. Just
Oh, absolutely.
just for entertainment value, just for seeing some good Rocket League. Just yeah.
We can
I mean,
see
I have
right
faith.
there. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Fire?
I have faith that we're going to get a few more Game 5. Just looking at the matchups this week, I mean, we have lots of teams that have a lot to play for, because, you know, you have these teams that might have stumbled out of the blocks early on that are really going to be hungry to get their first win on the season, but you also have teams that are really trying to stay ahead of the curve and maybe stay on that upper half of the league as well. So, I mean, I think there's a lot to play for this week and should lead to some really solid matchups.
And this week is going to be really important for some of those top teams and bottom teams as well, because going down 3-0 on the week, on 3 weeks, makes it just a little bit harder to catch back up to the middle of the pack. Those that go 2-1, because then you are going to have, you're going to have to win for a couple of weeks in a row to start catching up. Meanwhile, those that are 2-0 right now, definitely going to want to try and solidify their lead at the top of the leaderboard by trying to make it 3-0 for themselves. We'll have to see if any team is able to do that this week. But it's been 3 weeks, guys. I think that everybody is starting to finally, like, get the nerves out of the way and get the jitters of playing league play out of the way. So I think that we're going to start seeing a lot closer of matches coming up. I definitely don't think we're going to see as many sweeps.
Definitely, and I mean, I'm just wondering to see if within these next, like, couple weeks, we're going to see these teams that, if we're going to see any difference between the teams that have had all their players there for all the games and those that haven't. See if it's going to start making a difference, since the teams that have been playing together a bit more consistently might just have that little bit more chemistry going into these still early season, but at the same time, these kind of where teams are really starting to settle in type weeks. So I guess we'll need to see.
And right now, Fox Clan vs Purrsion Rebellion was our last match of last week. And as we said before, this one does go to a Game 5, so lots of action in this one. Definitely the match of the week there. I definitely think that both teams look good. However, Purrsion Rebellion still in that 0-2 spot down near the bottom of the leaderboard. Do you guys expect to see a bit of a comeback from them this week? I obviously think Fire does not see that coming, but what about Docky and Aerolax?
Let Aerolax go first for that one.
No, I want to let you go first for that one.
No, I want you.
You.
I mean,
somebody has
I
to
guess
go first.
I'll buy some time for these two to collect their thoughts, but I mean, I personally don't think that's happening. I think the squad of Dignipaws, I think Melon's really going to be settling in this week. I really have a optimistic outlook for the Dignipaws squad this week. I think they're going to improve to 2-1 on the season, because they're definitely not wanting to fall into that 1-2 category right towards the end of right at that cutoff point for playoff contention. So
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of time. So I know that you said you're pivotal for a lot of the top and the bottom teams, but like, you're kind of in the middle of, you know, you got a lot of time to lean one way or the other, and I think that even as time goes on, that'll change up quite a bit. So, yeah.
Bit of a dark screen there, but don't worry, guys. We are back to it. But let's go ahead and talk about this week's games here, as I think we do have the schedule for this week popping up here just in a second. And this week we're gonna have some really good matchups as well. We've got our featured matchup of X3 Tactics versus Black Money Gaming. That's gonna happen tomorrow. Today we're gonna be starting off with LumiMawcity versus OwOptic, followed up by Dignipaws and Twisted Tails, and then we're gonna finish off the day with Fox Clan and Purrsion 1. So definitely some good matchups to be had. I think we've got our top team in the league playing in the last match of the day. We've got, I think, a top team versus basically a bottom team in our first match, based on standings. And then middle of the pack for Twisted Tails and Dignipaws, one of these guys are going to go up 2-1. So they're going to find themselves in a good position at the end of the day. But what do you guys think about the matchups coming up today?
One small thing. I believe Twisted Tales is still, unless I'm mistaken, is still 0-2 on the season. So they'll be
They
fighting to
are.
get
You're
their.
right. You're right.
So there's nonetheless, they're still going to want to get that first win of the season under their belt. Maybe help shake off those nerves. Because I mean, if you go down 0-3 on the season, there might start to creep in some doubt in there for the mental, and you definitely don't want to see that this early on in the season. So, I mean, I think we have some really solid matchups. I'm pretty optimistic about them. I think we're going to get some good Game 4, Game 5 series.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking so as well. I feel like I cut off like 2 people at once there.
Go ahead, Donkey.
Wait, I mean, I definitely think we have the potential to have more Game 4, Game 5s, like Fire was saying. Hoping, as Pinero said, more Game 5s for the entertainment value. And I think we'll get that. I think a lot of these teams are looking stronger than they did weeks 1 and 2. So the matchup's going to get closer. I think we're going to see that starting, I think, now, and that's exciting for me as a viewer and as a player. So
Gotta agree there. I think that these matches are going to be very exciting, and we'll just have to see what all the teams bring to the table. Do want to reference chat and let you guys know if you missed the podcast. Yeah, I look a little bit different now. Got a little bit of an upgrade, so expect to see this going forward on RFDL streams and of course on my normal. But let's go ahead, and I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start talking top 5 plays of the week, as I do think it's about that time. And then after that, we'll get into Arilax's play of the week that he's going to go over, as we usually do here on the pre-show. But first off, we've got our top 5 plays of the week for week 2. Going to go with number 5 at the back, going up to number 1 at the end. But number 5 is going to be scored here by Voltic. And it's just a really nice read off of this. A nice double tap into the back of the net. Good beat on 1 on Liska and Sharky there. And then just a perfect read into a double. Not much special there. We know Voltic can score that. Number 2 is going to be not Joe here, scoring the 4th best play of the week. Getting a nice little double tap of their own. The angle so much more insane than the one Voltic just scored a bit earlier. You can see there only that top corner to be able to score from, and getting it over Dignipaws' defense there. Down to number 3 is going to be Shy for X3 Tactics. Arilax taking that clear, and it looks like Shy going to get an absolutely insane goal save there. And we'll see it from their perspective right here. You can see exactly how close they were to that. Almost double tapped it in their own net, but the ball bounces down and away from the net. Number 2 coming out from Cosmo, and it is going to be that game winner in game 4, getting a really nice double tap over Heavenly's head to take them to a game 5. This goal did mean everything for the team in that series, and it had to be Cosmo to be the one to get that absolutely godly angle. And now our best one from the last week, obviously, it's going to be Hammer. You can see right here, gets 1 flip reset, gets the 2nd over the head of the rest of BDS into the back of the net. This is just mechanical brilliance at its finest here. This is what we know Hammer can do any day he wants it, and just perfect shot. But that's our top 5 plays, guys.
I mean, overall, a very solid group of plays there, Fade. I mean, I don't think there's too much more to say on those. I mean, you just have people really showing what they can do, and that's always good to see, especially in these early season league matches. So, I mean, great shot by Hammer. I know being the one on the receiving end of not Joe's double tap there, that one actually ended up being the deciding goal in their series. So there were so many of these that it was just like the deciding goal. So it's always wonderful to see that, and good to see players show their stuff.
I'm waiting to see if any of our other players have anything to say.
I don't really have anything else to say on that other than just really amazing plays overall there.
Yeah.
Like especially that save from Shy, like that. I will admit that still hurts me.
Yeah, that is fair. But guys, we'll go ahead and now we've talked about our top 5 plays. We know Aeroax always likes to analyze with his protogen brain over there with its processing power from his Intel Atom. So we're gonna go ahead and give the floor to him as he goes over the play of the week.
Yeah, and the play of the week, it kind of obvious. It's going to be the #1 play. It's going to be Hammer's double reset here. Just getting such a mechanical play, especially in threes, is definitely not easy. And Hammer, as you can see here, just did it just with absolute brilliance. And I just want to kind of cover over this here. So kickoff goes right into his hands, pops it up, and just kind of following this up, using pretty much half the tank to get this first reset. And now from here is really just a difficult position to be in because the ball doesn't really have too much forward momentum, so you need to get that forward momentum to make it more threatening of a shot. And we see here, like as he goes up for this, he gets the reset and then just immediately starts rotating his car, going for the second one, and that second one actually pops it over the head of Meezer here. And then this second flip as well, I just want to point out just like the really good flip cancel here. Just gets the flip cancel here and then cancels the flip cancel to point his nose upward to get it over the head of Maxi Moon and just places that right in the back of the net. And just overall absolutely glorious shot and just easily deserving that top 1 spot for play of the week.
And we know Hammer is an SSL for a reason. Only players of that caliber, a little bit lower than that, but you know, SSL, those are the guys that you're expecting to mechanically have that sort of control over their car. That flip cancel into the end of the cancel just to pop that over Maxi's head at the end. That's just next level. That's something that I don't think I'll be pulling off anytime soon. Arrow, maybe you'll pull it off. We'll have to see
I hope.
what happens. But yeah, Hammer, he's one of the top players for a reason, and right there you can see exactly why it is. But thank you for that play, Aeroax.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I think it's about time, guys, that we start talking about our first match of the day today. And it's going to be a nice one. We decided to get the caster battle out of the way for everybody early. So today, as you guys have seen by the predictions, it's going to be LumiMawcity versus OwOptic Gaming to start us off. And Aeroax versus Docky. Obviously, I don't think they're going to have too many opinions on this one. It's going to be me and Fire for the most part. I'd be very shocked if Aeroax thought OwOptic was going to win and Docky thought that LumiMawcity would win. But, you know, they like playing pranks on me, so maybe that is what they think. But Fire, what are you thinking about the matchup in front of us here?
I mean, LumiMawcity, you know, their own 2 on the season's definitely not started how they've wanted. However, I do think this is a team with a very high ceiling. So I think they're going to come back with a strong performance. But at the same time, they are playing OwOptic, who, in my opinion, right now is one of the top 2 teams in the league. So, I mean, that's definitely tough competition there, and we'll need to see how they're able to handle it. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these teams to start. Let's start off with the blue side. There's going to be LumiMawcity coming out here. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a change here. Obviously, you can see the team is the same. Aeroax, Gala, Avid, and Levi. But due to some health issues and such, Gala is actually taking a step back for this match, and Avid is actually going to be able to come in and Fire. If they didn't have Levi here, if they had the original pick of Howl for the team, this would not be possible.
No, it wouldn't have, but, you know, they dropped down from a Champ 2 to a Champ 1, which is going to allow them to be able to have Avid sub in for Gala. So, I mean, I think, I mean, Gala's a really, really strong player. I was playing with him last night, but I mean, Avid is just so consistent. He's such a solid player. And I mean, I think it might maybe give a little bit of a change in chemistry, maybe a little bit of a adjustment, and it might work out in their favor. We'll just have to see. So, I mean, I think that's definitely the player I'll be keeping an eye on more than anyone else is Avid to see how he's able to handle being in a league and in a tournament outside just, you know, the normal ranked grind. So, I mean, for my knowledge, this is one of the first times he's going to be showing up in one of the tournaments or in the league, right, Fade?
Yes, that is right. He's a very busy person. He doesn't have a lot of time to join in these events, so it's always nice when he does, but I don't think I've seen him play in a tournament or in the league at all besides starting today. So very excited to see what he can do on his debut. I'll go to Arilax here. This is the first time that you guys have played with Avid in the league. How confident are you guys going into this match?
I mean, we can only really be as confident as we can be, because, like, I don't really know what to say here. Just like, I know that me and Avid have played a tiny bit together, but we don't have too much chemistry. So, like, it pretty much, me and Avid currently have like the same amount of chemistry that me and Levi do, who, like, I've only been playing with him since the start of the league. So, like, there's definitely some chemistry to be worked on, but if we can just figure out the roles, really, I feel like we have a fairly good chance.
All right, you heard from the man himself. Thank you for that, Arilax. And we'll talk about Daki's team now. On the other side, it's going to be OwOptic Gaming, and you guys all know these guys. No subs needed for this squad. It's going to be T-Park, it's going to be Nacho, and it's going to be Daki showing up here. And Fire, I mean, Nacho being the Week 1 MVP, Daki being the GC2 of the squad. T-Park has also been doing really well on the offense and defensive side whenever they play their matches. This team is looking pretty strong.
I mean, just look at the player cards. All of them have accolades in at least one statistic. You just don't see that in this league. Like, they're just so well-rounded. It's, having played them last week, it's like they don't have any holes to take advantage of. Like, they have nowhere where you can, like, you know, maybe on some of these more top-heavy teams, you have a lower-ranked player that you can try to isolate and then try to maybe hit a good play on, but they just have no weaknesses, and it just makes it so hard to game plan against them. So it's going to be a tough task for LumiMawcity, but I mean, they're definitely looking like an extremely strong team early in the season.
I have to agree. Daki, I'll ask you the same question I asked Arilax. Feelings going into the match. What are you guys focused on? How confident are you?
I mean, I'd say we're pretty confident. We've been playing pretty well up to this point, and I think every time we play, our goal is to just play the best we can, and make sure that we're supporting each other. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with our squad, how we've been playing. So we can hope to keep that going forward as the league continues.
I'll have to agree there. You guys have been looking really good. We'll have to see which team takes this one here soon. Fire, can you give us an update on what our predictions were from the podcast on this one?
So it is looking like... What are we seeing here? That's Daki and Arilax. Naturally, they didn't predict it. I predicted OwOptic 3-2. Fade, you predicted the same. And Hammer, who was our guest in this last podcast, which thank you, Hammer, for joining in. But he predicted OwOptic 3-2 specifically in a reverse sweep. So, everyone in agreement, although not necessarily in agreement on how that'll play out. So we'll need to see.
Yeah, we will have to see. And I think with that being said, it is going to be time to get into that first match. Very excited. The prediction has ended and we are good to go. So everybody, without further ado, it's time for our first match of the day. It's going to be LumiMawcity versus OwOptic Gaming. Can LumiMawcity finally get a win, or will OwOptic keep their perfect record? Let's find out. We'll start out straight on this kickoff. And we'll see exact... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You immediately see Levi and T-Park going... Oh, I mean... I don't think there's anything we can really say before Aerolax just puts one in the net. I mean, that's exactly the start that LumiMawcity was going to be looking for, and it looks like Daki might have been caught out there on the defensive end with low boost, which is never a position you want to be in. I mean, is that anything you would have expected there, Fade?
A kickoff goal to start us off is not what I was expecting. Daki did go up a little bit too early for that, I think. Just got actually a bit too late is what I meant to say. He just didn't get the touch he kind of wanted there. And unfortunate that they're going to give up a goal really early, but I'm betting that they're just going to shake that off and go next. Now T-Park going to have possession here. And Levi looking for a shot on net, not going to be able to find it. Avid will be up for this one. Not able to get there, so Aerolax is going to leave that one for Levi. I thought he was going to take that up the back wall, but not going to happen. But a lot of space in the midfield so far, and we'll have to see if LumiMawcity can take advantage of that.
I mean, last week you really weren't seeing that from OwOptic. They're just leaving a lot of space open in that midfield, and that's typically not what we've really been seeing from them early on. Maybe a couple of defensive rotation issues, maybe just not quite covering that midfield like they have been. And Aerolax is going to put another one on net, but it will be saved. And I mean, it looks like they're going to get a clear here, but they definitely don't look quite as clean as they were last week, and you got to wonder what's going on with maybe something in comms or what's going on to cause a little bit of a lesser performance than what we're used to seeing from them. But they still have plenty of time, and I'm sure they're going to be able to pick it up and get back in this match.
Yeah, of course. This is only the start of the first game. There's always going to be some jitters when you're about to start a league match. I can say that from experience, so I'm sure that they will fix that one up really quickly. But for now, it's looking like a lot of offense is going onto that OwOptic Gaming side. We're going to have to see how they bring this one back. And now, going towards the net, it's going to be T-Park, not able to find the touch. Aerolax keeps it live. And continuing on, it's looking very good for LumiMawcity here on the defensive time side, but a lot of offensive pressure is coming out for OwOptic, and they're going to have to fix this one up really quickly.
Yeah, it looks like LumiMawcity has just been a bit low on boost for about the past 30 seconds or so, and it makes it really hard to just maintain possession as you're trying to clear that ball out whenever you do get that low on boost. So they're just going to be looking for maybe getting a couple of boost pad steals here, maybe just to give themselves a little bit of breathing room, and that clear right there is just going to give them a little bit of extra time to recuperate some of that boost and be able to hopefully establish some pressure on this OwOptic Gaming side of the field. And it looks like they were able to for a moment, but OwOptic's able to get a good clear. Aerolax going to try to control this out onto the other side of the field, and he's able to do so. Not Joe. Trying to control it into his corner, getting a pinch. Aerolax clearing out. Avid is going to try to get a 50 here, is able to get a favorable 50 on Daki there, is able to get to the middle of the field. Levi going for the cut, and T-Park trying to clear it to corner for Joe. Joe trying to get it down the field, and I mean, we're seeing a lot of back and forth here, Fade, and which team do you think is more poised to be able to take advantage of these midfield plays and maybe put one in the back of the other team's net?
Well, at the moment, it's looking like OwOptic might have something in the cards, but unfortunately, Daki just a little too far forward. However, not Joe is going to be able to put it in, finishes it up for the team, and OwOptic Gaming will tie this up. It was a really nice touch from Daki there, trying to get the shot, but the backflip is good enough for a teammate to come forward. And that's going to be a tied game with 1:13 remaining.
Yeah, they just caught LumiMawcity just a little bit awkward there, just a little bit kind of on the back foot, and then they're going to catch him again on that kickoff. T-Park putting one home for OwOptic, and they're starting to look like their old selves again. This is more the OwOptic that we're used to seeing, just with unrelenting pressure as they put in 2 goals within about 10 seconds there. So, I mean, LumiMawcity is going to need a quick response with only 1:07 left on the clock, and that kickoff is not going to be favorable for them.
Now Aralax getting a long clear downfield, maybe an opportunity, but T-Park is going to get in the way of this. Less than a minute remaining for LumiMawcity to tie this game back up as it was so quickly stolen from them. Now Levi going to be demoed by T-Park on that play, and no one's going to be able to move forward, so Avid going to have this over to the side. Avid trying to keep control, but Levi pushing a little bit too far up. Aralax going to be the last one back, having to deal with this shot, and does so. Now with control, not a lot of boost to work with, but Nacho going to be the one that challenges here. And a little bit of a double commit as Aralax and Avid both go there. We know that they said they don't quite have the chemistry on lock yet. We'll have to see if they can get that a little bit better. Try to keep these double commits down. Now Aralax getting the pass. Oh, he was so close to this touch, but not going to be able to do it. And with that clearing over the field, it looks like, unless they can score on this right here, OwOptic Gaming is going to take game number 1. And with that clear, it is going to be OwOptic Gaming with the first lead of this series.
I mean, if you're a LumiMawcity there's nothing to hang your head about in that game, because that is such a close game against a really strong team. I think especially starting off so early in that series, just getting a goal in right from the get-go, I think that is going to bode for them well, and that they'll be looking to repeat that going into game 2, just getting that really early goal to hopefully put some pressure on OwOptic and kind of maybe get them on the back foot. So, well played by OwOptic, but I don't think LumiMawcity is going to be disappointed with that performance either.
Yeah, sorry about that NA production there. You guys know that we have to get that in at least once a day, so I decided right now would be the best time. But yeah, I don't think LumiMawcity can be too mad about that game. There were just a couple of instances where they were just not in the right spot on defense. They cleaned that one up, and they can take a game back, tie this series up, hopefully. We'll just have to see what more OwOptic can bring to the table, because I gotta admit, they're not looking as dominant as they looked against Dignipaws last week. So we'll have to see if they can step up their performance a little bit in this game number 2.
Definitely, and I mean, it's always the question, can Aralax learn those threes rotations? Was he able to download the correct files to be able to really find those rotations with his team and be able to really step up as the GC3 on this roster? But I guess we'll need to wait and see, as they're going to take a little bit of early pressure from OwOptic and just put it right back on OwOptic's side of the field. It's always good when you're able to get quick relief of pressure like that, and that way you don't even need to worry about maybe getting low on boost on the defensive side of the field or anything like that. You're just able to put it right back in your favor, which is always what you want to see. And I mean, we're seeing lots of back and forth early in this game, Fade, and that's just going to be stopped by Nacho putting one in the back of the net.
And this is a great pass from T-Park. You can see the entire side of LumiMawcity. It just looks a little bit awkward on that, and with the ball going so close to the top of the net there, it just takes one person to hit that down over to the left side, and that is going to be a quick goal for OwOptic Gaming. Now, having to save the ball again, it is going to be Avid this time. Aralax having to find a clear here in a bit of a rough position. T-Park gets the 50, but no one there from OwOptic to continue on the play, and Nacho is going to keep this one clear. Now,
yeah,
T-Park. Ooh, close shot.
Yeah, that's a good clear out by LumiMawcity there, and I'm really looking to see, how does LumiMawcity respond to that early goal? Are they able to just bounce back and get some early pressure, or are they going to let it get to themselves and maybe struggle to get the ball down the field? But it looks like they are They're still fighting in this game. They're still carrying on as per usual, and that they're going to be just fine. We're going to see NotJoe going for a play here, is not able to get a touch on the ball, and looks like that might have faked out Docky, so we'll need to see if they are able to maybe take advantage of an open net here, but Docky is unable to get there in time. Levi is able to get a 50, and Airlax just going to try to clear this out to Vise, and it's good to see them being able to connect on those passing plays when they're trying to get it out of their defensive half of the field.
Now the pressure continues, but Docky gonna get a really good clear. Avid gonna be the first one to this. Puts it straight down, but unfortunately, Airlax not gonna be in place for that. It's just gonna be Docky. However, Airlax gets a really good touch, and Docky is going to have to jump for that one to make sure it stays out of the back of the net. Does so, and NotJoe putting it straight back to the teammate. Avid going to have to go up quick. Lots of action from one side of the field to the other as we ping pong this ball across, and Docky had a chance for a second goal for OwOptic, and unfortunately just a little bit too high on it. Tries to fake the shot here for NotJoe. It's not going to work out as the defense plays patiently. And with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, Airlax trying to push here. The shot is going to be off the crossbar and out. And LumiMawcity going to want to see some of those get to the back of the net.
We've seen this series so far, we've seen tons of mechanical play opportunities for Airlax, but he just hasn't been quite able to convert on any of them yet. And you don't want to give him too many of those because, I mean, he's Airlax. He's going to convert on one of those if you give him enough chances. So, I mean, I think we're going to need to see OwOptic maybe clean up these defensive rotations and get a little bit more pressure on LumiMawcity when they're seeing them go for these more mechanical plays. Otherwise, we might see LumiMawcity find the back of the net on one of these because they've been so close so many times. But NotJoe is going to try to get a touch in towards the net there, unable to really get anything too threatening though. Docky is going to try to clear this towards the middle, T-Part cutting in, and Airlax going to be able to clear the ball out to the other side of the field.
And what a 50 coming out there from Avid from the pass from Airlax, almost leading to a shot opportunity, but will be thrown to the wayside by the defense. Now Airlax trying to keep the pressure up. Levi with the shot, and it's gonna go into the back of the net. LumiMawcity tied up with 1:05 remaining, and what an excellent shot from Levi off of this sidewall pass from Airlax here.
I mean, almost kind of like a little pre-jump into that one, almost a little bit, and that's just really good confidence from Levi, being, you know, the lower-ranked person on that team, and just having the confidence to just go for that ball and be where they need him to be. So, really good play by him to be able to put that in the back of the net. But we're seeing some early pressure from OwOptic. That's a really good save from Airlax, though. But T-Park hitting the angle right there. And, I mean, we're seeing lots more scoring opportunities from T-Park this series, which is always good to see. He's kind of taken a little bit of more of a secondary role in the previous series from them. But, I mean, T-Park showing up big right there, putting his team in the lead with only 50 seconds left on the clock.
Now LumiMawcity is facing match point potentially if they cannot get a goal in the next 40 seconds or so. Will they be able to do it? Avid off the sidewall, he's reading the touch and he gets the drop down into the goal. And this is just really nice from Avid here. You can see that he's reading that back wall bounce all day, going straight for it, bouncing it down on the ground just to make sure anybody that's jumping for it, it goes underneath them. It goes into the top corner. And that's an excellent way to tie this up.
I mean, Avid, it's his first series in league history, and he's just showing up so big, especially in moments like that where his team needs him. And I mean, he's just a huge, just a big player on this team, and it's good to see him showing up where they need him to. And we're going to be looking to see him do a bit more of that as the series goes on. Almost able to be in position for that shot right there. That would have been a huge momentum shift in favor of LumiMawcity, but instead, it's going to go to overtime. And I mean, LumiMawcity is really going to want to put this one away if they want to stay in this series, as we see Airlax fake it in favor of Levi going for that kickoff. And interesting kickoff strats from LumiMawcity. Are they trying to get into OwOptic's heads potentially?
It might might be a fake, but it also might be the fact that Levi just does not have a faster kickoff than Not Joe. You got to remember that they are quite a bit underranked in comparison when you go onto the kickoff like that, and so you have to expect a loss on that kickoff if you are LumiMawcity. But they played back and they played that defense well, so it wasn't too much of an issue. Now, OwOptic trying to put the game in their favor with another shot. Not going to go in. And Avid gets a nice little pinch off of Daki. T-Park is going to have to save that one and tries to rule it out, but Aerolax is going to have control of this one. Levi is going to go up in the air, but just can't beat Daki to that touch. And Aerolax in the back, waiting to clear it. The shot coming out from T-Park, going to be put off to the side by Avid.
I mean, they almost caught Avid just a little bit out of position there, but Avid just was so good at recovering and getting back onto the ball for that save. So very well played by him. They're getting the early pressure. Daki is out of boost, and just a beautiful shot from Aerolax there. Just getting to that ball so fast, and the placement from midfield is absolutely absurd right there. And Daki just no boost, a little bit forward for being on no boost, and that's just going to allow Aerolax to just slot that one so perfectly into the back of the net.
And you did say that you wanted the GC3 of the squad to step up, and step up he did. Excellent shot to end off that game. And now we are at a tied series 1-1 between LumiMawcity and OwOptic. And this could go either way at this point. However, I think momentum on the side of LumiMawcity after that goal from Aerolax. You know the mental has got to be in a good place after that one.
It really does need to be, and it just seems like as the series goes on, Vise and Aerolax are just gaining that chemistry as they go further and further into this series, which is a little bit scary to see if you're on the side of OwOptic here. So, I mean, they're just going to continue getting better and better as time goes on, and we need to see if that's going to end up carrying them through this series.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And with Avid, as I've said before, not a player that you've seen too much going into the league or tournaments, so getting confidence up with that win is going to be a major boost to his play as well, especially with the shot that he was able to put on to tie the game late in game number 2. We're going to have to see if he can take his personal momentum and bring it to game 3 as we start out on DFH Stadium with another kickoff. Levi is going to get this one this time, and Avid, as I say it, is going to immediately bring that momentum to game number 3, and LumiMawcity is up by 1.
I mean, it's great to see that LumiMawcity has that confidence in their lower rank player. Just put the ball in the perfect spot to allow Avid to just put that one home. That's exactly the way they're hoping to start this game, and I mean, the momentum is absolutely in their favor at this point, and I mean, OwOptic needs to come up with an answer before this series starts to slip away from them. I mean, I know it's only game 3 with the series tied, but I mean, again, Levi just getting the beat in the Batmobile, may I add. And I mean, they just seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. So OwOptic Gaming, you gotta wonder if they're starting to get a bit nervous in this series. And I mean, LumiMawcity just playing so well right now.
And let's talk about that shot from Levi for a second. The challenge coming in expects him to hit that with the tip of his car, but he actually hits it with the back half, which actually pops it over the defense and leads to that goal. Might not have been intentional from Levi, but if it was, that's definitely a next level move to be able to pop it over the defense like that. And it looks like LumiMawcity have all the momentum to start off game number 3, but we've seen OwOptic Gaming in these sort of positions before. They should be able to gain a goal back and get the momentum back in their favor. However, they're going to have to get through the entire LumiMawcity defense to do so. Not Joe is going to have this first touch. And Levi, not the best touch from him, allowing for an opportunity from Daki. Gets it over 1. Avid can't get there. And Daki scores the first for OwOptic.
That's just a great shot by Daki. Just maybe a bit low on boost, but using all the boost that he has to just get that over the defender. Very well played by Daki, and that's just a beautiful shot. It's exactly what you want to see from that GC2 on your team. Airlax going to be on kickoff that time, though, is able to get a beat, but that allows OwOptic to get some early pressure. Avid trying to stay with this one. A bit low on boost, though, and Daki is going to kind of wedge him out of the play. Nacho trying to establish pressure, and Levi is going to try to clear it out, unable to do so, though, and is going to try to clear it to the side. Maybe not the clear he was looking for, though, and I mean, it seems like OwOptic has just flipped the script here, and now they have all the pressure on LumiMawcity early on after this kickoff.
That was a great touch by Aerolax, though, off his own back wall to get the clear. And now Avid almost out of position once again, as we saw that happen in game 1, but still able to get the save there with a well-timed backflip. Now Levi gonna be the last back, gets it over Daki, not Joe. Gonna try and put this on net, and Avid will be there to clear. Tier Park not gonna get the best touch and allows LumiMawcity to come forward. Now Avid with the back pass, but Airlax can't get a strong shot on net. And that's going to allow OwOptic Gaming to move out of defense. Now, off the backboard, gonna be not Joe, who can't get the touch, and Daki gonna have to follow this one up. Awkward position for LumiMawcity here. Not Joe gonna try and play it to his advantage, but Aerolax getting a great save and able to move it out once again. 2:19 on the clock, and OwOptic Gaming still searching for that goal to tie it up.
I mean, we've seen OwOptic play from the driver's seat so much this season, but I mean, seeing them try to climb their way back into this game, it's really going to put them to the test, because this LumiMawcity squad is just looking so strong. Trying to link up on passing plays, and I mean, if you have your middle rank player able to do plays just like that with a great read off of the backboard, I mean, that's just really hard to stop right there. Great shot from Avid, great play by LumiMawcity, and that's going to put them up by 2 once again with 1:57 left.
And now kickoff going the way of OwOptic Gaming. Not going to be able to catch up to it in time, though, and Nacho going to have to play the defense on this one. A well-placed 50 into the midfield goes to Levi, and no one else from LumiMawcity able to move up here, but not like they need to, being up by 2 right now. They're going to want to try and play that defensive line, try to get us to match point for their side. As Daki tries to take a shot, going to be stopped by Avid. Not Joe with the touch. Going to be awkward on Aerolax, but gets this out beautifully and is able to get past T-Park for an offensive possession for LumiMawcity here. However, Not Joe past one. Avid going to be up in the air early to get this ball. And we continue on. 1:10 left. LumiMawcity up by 2.
I kind of starting to see where LumiMawcity just seems to be figuring out their roles with this new roster, and I'm seeing a lot of cases where Airlax is clearing the ball out and just being really quickly followed up and capitalized on by Avid, and that's a really dangerous duo to have, especially when they're firing on the same mindset. And it's just really good to see them finding their chemistry and really taking it to OwOptic, who was definitely the favorites going into this match. But we see, once again, Levi is going to try to clear that out. That's not the touch he's going to want, though, and Airlax is going to need to follow that up, getting the save on Daki. T-Part getting challenged by Levi, and Levi just 50ing everyone right there. Great play by their lower-ranked player to be able to keep the ball in their favor. Avid is going to try to follow that up. Levi is a bit far back there. He's going to be able to collect it and bang it towards back wall. Avid trying to get a read. 10 seconds left. LumiMawcity up by 2. I think this game is just about in the books. Fade.
As this hits 0 seconds, Daki is going to clear it, and LumiMawcity is going to go to match point here. And I'm starting to understand why Avid wanted this sort of team composition during the draft to begin with. They seem very solid in their gameplay right there. Game 1 looked a little shaky from them, but they cleaned that up really quickly. And now on match point, almost at the point of causing an upset against OwOptic Gaming. And Fire, what do you think OwOptic needs to do to try to take us to a game 5 here?
I think they just need to clean up those defensive rotations just a little bit, and they almost seem to just be on their back foot a bit too often. in this series. They seem to be getting caught out by some of the pressure that LumiMawcity is getting. And, I mean, they've never really been in the position where they need to play from behind, play where maybe they're not on the right end of the scoreboard. And I think they need to keep their mental up, and they gotta be able to just have a bit more pressure on this LumiMawcity squad here, because they're just getting outpaced a lot in this series.
Yeah, and I do have to say, while Avid is a GC2, back in his heyday, he did hit SSL. He has the game sense, he has the knowledge, and he has the mechanic to get to that top level of Rocket League. Now, granted, he hasn't been at that level for quite a while now, but he is starting to show some of his brilliance on the field during this match. We're just going to have to see if they keep ramping it up, or if OwOptic is going to be able to cause a Game 5 as we get into Game 4 with immediate pressure on the LumiMawcity side, but it is going to be cleared away by Avid. And now a miss coming out from Daki. Nacho going to have to take this one quick, not allow a counterattack to come through, and Airlax is just going to be able to play this one slow into his own corner.
I mean, Nacho, that's a name we haven't heard that much this series. It seems like LumiMawcity is doing a really good job of keeping him a bit more quiet in this series, which no other team has found a way to do. So, I mean, LumiMawcity is doing a very good job at covering their bases, and T-Park is going to put one into the crossbar. That is so unfortunate. That's one that he's definitely going to be wanting back, as LumiMawcity just punishes him for that miss. And I mean, Avid just on low boost there, so he dishes it off to Airlax, who's just able to slot one right down the middle of the goal. Very well played by LumiMawcity to get a quick counter after the awkward miss by OwOptic.
And Daki had no boost in the net there. He had to predict where Arrow was going to shoot that one. And he unfortunately backflips instead of front flips. That might have been a way to get the save on that ball. Maybe the only way, but Airlax showing up real quick in this game, getting his second one. And Nacho, just a bit of a heavy touch on the back line there. Bounces straight out to Airlax, and he sees the opening in the middle of the net. Easily slotted in for him. And now LumiMawcity up by 2 in what could be the final game of this series.
We've definitely seen bigger comebacks than this, especially last week with the Purrsion Rebellion and Fox Clan series. But I mean, this is definitely not the position you want to be in if you're OwOptic Gaming, because they're definitely on their back foot here, and we need to see once again, how are they able to handle not being on the winning side of the scoreboard. And I mean, doesn't look like they're handling it as well as I would have expected, considering the chemistry that they have as a team so far in this league. So we need to see if they're able to just hang strong and maybe keep up that pressure that they have been known for up to this point in the league. And I mean, it looks like they're trying to keep some pressure here, but LumiMawcity just clearing it to midfield and just keeping it out of their half so well. A little bit of a double commit there, but it doesn't look like OwOptic's going to be in the position to take advantage of it. And they just, yeah, it seems like LumiMawcity just has control over this game at every step of the way. And I mean, OwOptic needs to come up with a solution to it really quickly. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves on the wrong side of this series.
And I'm expecting to see some demo plays come out from OwOptic. They really seem to be shutting down the key members of the squad, especially Nacho, as you said earlier. We haven't seen them too much, and that might be another goal as I'm trying to talk about how OwOptic can come back in this. Just another unfortunate mishap of no boost. Daki does his best to clear this one and gets it off the crossbar, but it bounces straight in front of the net. And once again, who else but Avid, the new member here subbing in for this week, to put that into the back of the net. And as I was saying, I really want to see OwOptic try to get some demo plays going. They need to start shutting down the defense of LumiMawcity, as it has been getting in their way every single time a shot has gone on. But another shot going in front of the OwOptic Gaming net. T-Park is going to have to clear this one, but just so much pressure from LumiMawcity as they just seem to be ramping up more and more as this game continues on. T-Park up for this one. beaten by Aerolax. Avid with an easy open net shot, and that's going to be 4 for LumiMawcity here.
LumiMawcity is revitalized. Like, they're just playing so well, and they seem to just have everything going their way, especially in this Game 4, and they look like an entirely new team compared to how we've seen them in the first 2 weeks of this season. I mean, it's not impossible for them to come back in this game, but with every ticking second that goes by, it's just getting further and further from their grasp, and we're used to seeing them being on the opposite end of this, where they're the ones just stomping out their opponent in these Game 4s. But I mean, they're kind of on the other end of it right now, and it's very interesting to see that, you know, we're seeing a bit of a one-sided affair in this Game 4. I was expecting a little bit more from OwOptic, but LumiMawcity, with just over 1 minute left, up by 4, I just don't see OwOptic being able to claw their way back into this game.
There was a chance, but Daki once again on low boost, not able to get the shot, as it would have been a very difficult angle to get in the first place. But I think boost control is definitely something that LumiMawcity has taken advantage of in this game in particular. There have been multiple instances where Daki has not had any boost, and neither has the rest of the OwOptic Gaming squad. And LumiMawcity just doing a really good job of making sure that they stay at that low boost total, so they can't really put on anything aggressive, as another shot comes in, but it's going to be a little bit to the side, and with 30 seconds left, that's less than 10 seconds a goal. And without any kickoff shenanigans happening, I think this game can be called closed at this point, which means LumiMawcity will be getting the upset here and taking the match from OwOptic Gaming. They will be going 1-2 in the standings, and OwOptic Gaming gonna need to bounce back next week from this loss.
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of managers that are going to be looking at this series, seeing how did LumiMawcity manage to completely shut down Notjo in this series, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Notjo got a single goal this series, and he was one of the top 3 goal scorers in the entire league, and he just seemed to have so many 50s and so many of those tough moments where he just wasn't able to get the touches he wanted. So, I mean, we'll just need to see how other teams are able to adapt what LumiMawcity was able to show today.
And I will say that Notjo was able to get 1 goal at least, I believe, during the first or second game. It was pretty early on in the series, but after that, it did just seem like LumiMawcity was just doing a really good job of shutting down the entire OwOptic Gaming squad. And it really is up to them for next week to figure out exactly what went wrong in this series and try to bounce back for the next one. But well played to LumiMawcity, and well played to Avid in his first official RFDL series, helping bring his team to their first match win. And for them, it just looks all uphill from here. We're just gonna have to see what they bring to next week's game. But guys, we still have 2 more matches to play today, so we're gonna go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have Dignipaws versus Twisted Tails to continue on. So stick around, guys, and we will be back after the break.
I will save
Hello,
replays and do
welcome back,
screenshots.
everybody. Hi, Cookie. Everybody, we're back. Welcome back to the RFDL. Week number 3, day 1. I'm Ecliptic Fades with Fire, Docky, and Aerolax. And
Yo.
Fire, we just watched LumiMawcity with the upset 3-1 over OwOptic Gaming. That was a great match.
It really was. Definitely. I mean, we scrimmed LumiMawcity very recently, and they were absolutely popping off. And it's good to see that they kept up that momentum that they were really able to deliver this week. So, I mean, is this a new LumiMawcity? I think that's kind of the storyline. Are they going to be able to repeat that? Because if so, they are a terrifying team. So, I mean, I guess we'll just need to wait and see. I don't think OwOptic played that bad. Like, honestly, they didn't play terribly. There wasn't anything too obvious that they were doing wrong. It was just LumiMawcity popped off. Gotta give them credit, you know? So.
Thank you.
And I will ask Arrow, how are you guys feeling after that match?
Relieved that we finally won a match. No, but honestly, OwOptic played really, really well. It's just like, as you mentioned, Fade, during the cast, it really felt like just the chemistry between me and Vise just kind of suddenly happened. Just wasn't really a choice between either of us. It's like, oh, okay, this is happening now. All right, well, it really, really did us well in the match.
Yeah, it seemed like it. You guys played your hearts out and ended up getting the first win. But Docky, for you guys, it's the first loss of the season. Nothing to be too worried about. But how's the team feeling after this one?
I mean, obviously we know we have work to do. We started out really strong, and I would say that made us complacent, but we definitely didn't practice as much this week than we have in the past. So I think that showed. I think that a lot of the rotations just were not there where they should have been. I think watching that back, that was kind of apparent. So it's not DEF CON. Like, we're 2-1. It's nothing to stress too much about. We'll bounce back. So pretty happy still overall.
Yeah, I think that both teams played really good. It's just LumiMawcity showed up with a little bit more firepower than I think anybody on the desk was expecting. We all got the prediction wrong for that match, and so, you'll see that reflect in our caster prediction battle that you'll see on Wednesday. But for now, guys, we've got a couple more matches to get going on, and this next one is going to be Dignipaws versus Twisted Tails, and this one's going to be exciting.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've been saying this pretty much since week 1. But Twisted Tails is a team that can lose to anybody, but they can also beat anybody. So, I mean, they're always going to be entertaining to watch, and I'm definitely really excited to see them play once again.
Yeah, I am as well, and we really just got to see which side of the coin it is today, whether they're going to win or lose. But I feel like really either team just has a lot of capability in taking this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's, on paper, just if you're looking at it, you might kind of expect it might be one-sided, but I agree with what I think with both of you said. It really will come down to, I think, whoever's playing their best. There's so much potential from both of these teams to absolutely pop off, and so, I mean, hopefully we see both of them pop off and have an extremely close game, but it's kind of hard to tell who has the advantage here.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think both teams look pretty strong. However, we do know that last week Dignipaws was having a bit of an off week, but Twisted Tails also had to deal with the sub, so they were not in the right spot to deal with that, as well as it was a last-second sub, and it really did show in their performance. Now they should have the full team, and we'll have to see what they do in this game. But let's go ahead and talk about the teams real quick. Let's talk about Dignipaws here, as I believe they are going to be bringing on a sub for this matchup.
Yes, I was hearing about that, and Nova stepping in for, I believe it is their Champ 2 Kilo, I believe that would be. But yeah, Nova, I've known Nova for a while, and they're pretty solid players, so I mean, we'll be looking forward to seeing how they're able to adapt to these rotations and seeing how well the rest of that squad is able to help Nova really feel comfortable in this match, and hopefully getting Nova up to speed on everything.
This is a team that I was gonna say, this is a team that I am a huge fan of. Obviously, I like watching them play, and I do have some insider insight. I do know that Sylvia's been playing the game again recently.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Okay,
If that,
well, that's
that
GG.
shows, we'll see if that shows itself. I know they had a rougher time last team, so we'll see if they're able to pop off.
Yeah, I have heard so much about how Sylvia is one of the best GC3s in the league, and if they're actually like grinding and playing the game once again, and getting that consistency in to help their team out, that is definitely going to be scary. But are they going to be able to play against the SSL on the other side of the field? Obviously, I'm talking about Twisted Tails, who's going to have Joshi as their main man here, along with Liska and Baxis, and you cannot count these other two out. They are really great additions to the team. They've been showing up in their matches as well. Baxis, unfortunately, not able to make it last week, but now that he's going to be here, I expect to see a little bit of a better performance from Twisted Tails in this week number 3.
I mean, anytime you're able to play with your full roster, that's a bonus. So I think that is a little bit of a point to Twisted Tails here, them being able to play with all of their main players. But this match, I'm really going to be looking at Liska, because she's been just a little bit quiet early on this season, a little bit more than the end of last season, and I really think specifically if Joshi is able to set her up a bit more and be able to really let her show her stuff, that they're going to really improve as a team, and I think that they will start having some really good performances, but we'll need to see, because naturally, I mean, Liska's a very capable player, and I think that once she gets settled in their rotations, that they're going to be a very strong team. It just, we'll need to see if they're able to put it together this week.
Yeah, I completely agree. I might be a bit biased though, but Liska goated. No, but like seriously, like this team, especially with Baxis on the team, have that chemistry back. This team is a very, very strong team, and as Fire said, just can win against anyone, can lose against anyone. Just really has just a lot of potential in this league, really.
Yeah, and I think we've seen already some of just how well they can play. Unfortunately, they, last second subs last season, or last week, I mean.
Last season.
I think that disrupted their flow a little bit, but my guess is they're going to be right back to form they were week 1, and probably even better. So I think they have a great chance to win this series as well.
Yeah, I have to agree, and we do have to see exactly when how this series goes. Now, I will say there are no West players on either team, but there are some EU players, so we're going to get a good old alternating server matchup. Do you think that plays anything into this match, guys?
I feel like it might, honestly. Is like it especially in a game like Rocket League, just those milliseconds are really, really crucial. And when you're connecting to a server that's pretty much halfway across the world, like those milliseconds, like if you're playing in okay, I can't speak right now. If you're playing in US on EU servers, I usually tend to get like between 90 and 120 ping. And as small of a difference that is, it can really, really just cause a massive difference overall. And I feel like we actually saw that quite a bit in week one's matchup between Twisted Tails and BBG, and I feel like it's going to have a massive effect in this game as well.
I mean, 90 to 100 ping. That's why I'm getting on USC as a West player. But nonetheless, yeah, I don't. I mean, Joshi and I believe Liska's also EU ?
Yes.
But yeah, both of them being able to play on their home servers will definitely serve them well. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't make too much of a difference. You never like to see servers really make too much of a difference in a series, but ultimately, I think regardless of if it does make a slight difference or not, it's going to be a really good series. I think it's going to be really close, and I think both of these teams are going to be fighting tooth and nail to be able to take this series in particular, because you don't want to fall to 0-3 on a season. That's like almost a month where you haven't managed to take a series, and that can be hard on the mental for a lot of teams. So hopefully we see some good things here, but we'll need to just wait and see.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Right now, we are currently waiting on Twisted Tails to join the lobby. Once they are in, we are going to get our coin flip going to decide who's going to pick the first lobby. Obviously, if they don't show up a bit sooner, we're probably going to just give that pick over to Dignipaws as we try to stall. But yeah, we are just waiting for them. So if you guys see them playing, DM them, be like, get in the game, we're waiting to watch you guys play. Guys, if there's one person in particular on each team to watch for this matchup, to kind of pop off and take their team to the victory, who do you think that's going to be? And I know that most of you will say Yoshi and Sylvie, so maybe change
Nope.
that. No?
Nope, I actually wasn't thinking Joshi and Sylvie for Dignipaws. I'm going to be looking squarely at their substitute. I want to see Nova just be able to be comfortable in those rotations and being able to more seamlessly fill in that spot, because if he's able to fill in that spot and play close to how they're used to seeing Kilo play, I think they'll be just fine. But on the other side, I'm going to be looking at Liska, because Joshi's been doing his thing, but I haven't really seen Liska quite be comfortable in those rotations yet. And if she's able to get a bit more comfortable with it, I think she can, like we saw her last year, because she's goated. But
True.
we saw how good she can play, and I want to see her get back to that level.
Yeah, I do as well. And honestly, like, I'm pretty much looking at the same players. However, I feel like it's, at least for me, on Twisted Tails, it's kind of a toss-up between Liska and Baxis, who I'm looking at, because Baxis so far has only played in one series, and hasn't had as much time to really just get acclimated to, like, the setting of a league, really. So, we'll really have to see just, like, if, like, that 1 week break has actually, like, helped or hindered or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that it's Baxis being back. We'll see if the team has, I think, more chemistry. I mean, I think that they'll have more chemistry than they would have had with a sub, or they did have with a sub last week. So, I've confirmed Baxis will be in this one. So we'll see. We'll see if that helps them, and I think it will, personally.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that they looked a bit shaky when they had to have that last minute sub pop in, and Cloud9 could just take advantage of that, luckily for my team, but that's not going to be the case this time. And coming into the other side, I have never seen Nova play, so I don't really know what to expect from their gameplay or anything, so I'm really going to have to see what they can bring to the for the pitch. You know, once we see that, we'll be able to more accurately see how this match is going to be able to go. Taking a look at the chat here, Vezek saying he doesn't care about the coin flip for Joshi. So I think at that point, we're just going to give Dignipaws the coin flip win there. As I think Joshi is trying to warm up with his team before getting into the match. He's waiting until literally, I think the last minute to join in the lobbies. With that
Sounds
being
about
said,
right.
with Dignipaws getting here first, we're just gonna give the coin flip to them, and I will let them know that they will get the first server choice. So, but as I say that, it looks like Twisted Tail's starting to join the lobby. So maybe, seeing that there's time left, we will be able to get a coin flip in.
But didn't they already call it off, or?
Not really. I mean, Vezek just said he doesn't care about it in his own chat, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, best to check in with that Twisted Tales roster, see if Joshi has anything to say about that himself. But
Yeah, fair.
not saying that Vezix would just make something up there, but I mean, it's always best to just double check, make sure nothing got lost in translation between that Joshi accent and the Vezix Americanism right there. So
Americanism.
yeah,
Wow.
so I mean, always best to double check naturally, but yeah, hopefully we get word from that soon. And I mean, what I guess for both Airlax and for Docky here, I'll ask a quick question. What duo are you guys going to be looking for? Like, what duo of players are you looking to see like exceptionally good chemistry from going into this matchup?
Oh man, I mean, it's tough because I don't think either of these teams have like a duo. Like they're very team centric play like teams. So I mean, obviously they both have a very strong top player on the team for both of them. So I think it's more so going to be trying to require them to work more as a team. I doubt we'll see any two players. I mean, obviously, Liska and Joshi might have some, but I think if they want to thrive, they should not. That should not be, I think, their game plan. And I don't think it will be going into the match.
Yeah, that's completely fair. But like to answer Fire's original question, like for like duos specifically, I'm really looking at just like specifically the chemistry between Joshi and Liska, and then also Sylvie and Kiki, because we've seen before that like Sylvie and Kiki can like they have I personally feel they have like fairly similar play styles. Of course, Sylvie just absolutely goated player, very very mechanical, but Kiki definitely keeping up the speed as well, being able to keep up there. Whereas, as we've mentioned before, we've seen like a little bit of like lackluster chemistry from Liska and Joshi, and I feel that personally with Twisted Tales, if those two players in particular can figure out that chemistry, they're just going to become an unstoppable team.
Yeah,
You're definitely right on that, Arrow.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
definitely right. You're good to go, Fade?
Yeah, I'm good to go. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, gotcha. So I guess caster predictions? We good for that?
Well, I need to do the coin flip on
Okay.
stream, and then we'll do caster position predictions. So, guys, let's go quickly to the coin flip. Obviously, heads is going to be Dignipaws. Tails is going to be Twisted Tails. Who's going to get it? It is going to be heads, so Dignipaws will get that one. So we will continue on with Dignipaws getting first server choice, which I assume it's going to be NA East.
And we shall see.
Naturally, whenever it's possible for you to finish off a series in 3 games, you're going to want that first and third game on your home servers, just to secure that you're playing games on your home servers. But it does look like RuneScape says NA East, so
There you go.
it sounds like that is settled.
Yep, so now we will just be waiting for us to get into the match. But yes, Fire, did you want to go ahead and let us know what our predictions were during the podcast so people can stay up to date with our caster prediction battle?
So we're hoping that we don't all lose it last time, because that's a caster curse, and us casters never like to see that. But we have a full sweep for Dignipaws. Fade and Hammer both saying it in a 5-game series, everyone else saying in a 4-game series. So we will need to see. We'll just need to wait and see if that comes true, or if we just cast or cursed our teams once again. So, I mean, that's enough speculation.
That is enough speculation, guys. We've stalled for long enough. It is time for our second match of the day. It is going to be Dignipaws versus Twisted Tails to get into this one. And I believe we're going to have Firestreak and Daki casting this one. So, have fun, guys.
Absolutely. And it looks like we're getting a lobby reset to start the game. Let's go. Always good to see, hopefully both teams trying to get in a lobby that works for them where the ping isn't too bad, because naturally we don't want that to have too big of a difference. So we should be starting here momentarily, guys, nonetheless. And it looks like we're just waiting for one player to leave the match. Hashtag EU production, indeed. Yeah, it looks like everyone's getting back in the game. I think as soon as everyone joins in, we should be good to go. So, I mean, yeah, Daki, is there anything else you have to say before the game starts?
Best of luck, everybody. And hope it's an exciting one.
Absolutely. We always like these exciting series. And it looks like we're going to be heading into game 1 here. And Nova on kickoff gets a little bit of an awkward kickoff, but that's just going to give Dignipaws early possession. And Nova already getting a great pass to Kiki. Kiki almost doubling it, followed up by Nova. And I mean, Nova already showing up with 2 big touches there to give some early pressure for Dignipaws.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of control early on. I think that was kind of expected, as I think this Twisted Tails team, I think, relies a lot heavily on fast-paced offense off of a lot of counterattack. So you kind of expect to see that going in earlier on, but they definitely don't want to let this get too out of hand. As if they end up on defense too much, this will not go too in their favor. I don't see them surviving too long. They're on defense that much, but there's an opportunity there. So again, they really like those quick kind of counterattack, almost trying to catch them off guard. Seems to be their bread and butter. They played really, really well doing that week 1. They're already trying to do that. Just outpace them, try to play quicker. Again, this Dignipaws team, so good at controlling the ball, especially with Sylvie there. Actually goes a little bit to the side. Again, back and forth. No one has a clear advantage. Seems like both are settling into their gameplay. Not too much. Kind of hard to tell. I think who has the early advantage here.
I mean, I'm kind of looking squarely at Nova here and just having just tons of pressure so early on, and coming in as a Champ 1 sub is not an easy thing to do. And if he's able to keep this up, I think there's always the possibility that a team tries to step in and pick him up, especially if he's able to be that effective with pressure. But we're seeing a quick county from Sylvie. Sylvie with a good 50, and that's able to secure the first goal of this series. I mean, a fairly basic dribble coming out from Sylvie there, and just getting a favorable 50 on Sharky. And I mean, do you think the server is going to have any sort of effect on that, Ducky?
I mean, if you watch that back, Sylvie does such a good job of getting momentum, wave dashes into the ball, and then very quickly. And again, I'm going to get shut up here, but I had a really, really good read from Kiki to back on the first one. He gets really quickly to the other side of the ball, which makes it a really hard 50 to have when you're on defense. So it's a tough position for Joshie to be in. But again, talk about tough position for Joshie to be in, as Kiki will make sure they go up 2-0. That's a fantastic read off the backboard. I don't think there's just much you can do there in that position when you're on defense there. You have to hope that he misses that shot, and Kiki does not miss that shot. So 2-goal lead for Dignipaws. They look very strong with 2:57 left in this game.
And I mean, you see both Sylvie and Nova going up for that ball there, and you know that's a little bit. I think the fact that Nova is a substitute, not maybe Sylvie not being quite familiar with Nova's playstyle and what Nova is capable of, and just choosing to play it safe and securing the ball going to the side there. But we see some more pressure coming out from Dignipaws, and I mean, they just look to be the stronger team right now. Twisted Tail's going to need to come up with an answer soon, as Sylvie air dribbling it down the field, getting a 50 with Liska. Liska, the 50-50 queen, is able to shut that down, though. But Sylvie playing across the field, trying to get it forward, but that's going to be shut down by Sharky. Kiki popping it high, Sylvie following it up. Sylvie over one. Sylvie going for the double, but Liska is there for that one. Nova trying to get a solid shot on here, trying to get it forward, is able to drop it down to Kiki. Kiki putting it on, but that's off the crossbar. And I mean, we're just seeing so much pressure come out from Dignipaws here. They're getting a bit low on boost, it looks like, but that's a good boost steal. And I mean, they just look to be in full control of this match from my perspective, Docky.
Yeah, it's an onslaught. I mean, it's tough when you're in that position to just try to get the ball out of your net. You're getting your boost stolen. You're trying to collect, but you don't have the boost to get the ball forward too far. And every time you think you might, it's just right. And again, as this happens again, you might have had a counter opportunity, but Sylvie makes sure that does not go anywhere. Completely cuts that play off, way quicker to that ball. And then, of course, everyone's pushing up for that one on Twisted Tails. They want that goal. They want to cut the lead. But Sylvie makes sure the lead goes further in Dignipaws' favor. 3-0, 131. They seem to be in full control of this first game.
They really do, and I mean, that kickoff, Kiki is going to be the first one up for that, and it just continues shot after shot for the side of Dignipaws. And Twisted Tails needs to come up with an answer for this quickly, otherwise this series may get out of hand from them. Kiki getting a good play over to Sylvie. No one's there to collect it, though. And Nova going to be left last back. Sylvie cutting in to be able to take a little bit of those defensive rotations, which can be awkward for these lower ranks. And just taking a bit of that pressure off. I think that's really well. But that's such an unfortunate touch. Oh, they get away with it. But, I mean, they're not going to want to do that too often. Otherwise, it could be tough for them. Joshi making control play down the field. Sylvie with the dunk. Sylvie going up for the double. Unable to get it in. That's going to allow Sharky to hit it to the side. Joshi going up. Doesn't get the first touch he wants. Trying to get it forward. But that's going to be shut down by that Dignipaws midfield, which has just been all so devastating so far in this match. Baxis getting a boost steal, but that's going to allow for the ball to be clear to the opposite side. Liska, you know, only on 104 points so far. That's a little bit less than what we're used to seeing from her. And, I mean, they really got to get her a bit more involved if they want to claw their way back into this series. Down to 10 seconds left in the game. Sylvie trying to play it over the top, trying to get a little bit of goal differential here, but is unable to. And, I mean, this game is coming to a close, and we're just going to need to see if either team's able to put one in for that goal differential. Nova keeping it up. You always love to see that. And it's going to fall, though. And, I mean, just a dominating win by Dignipaws in that game.
Yeah, I mean, the shots were there, but they were far and few between for Twisted Tails. I mean, they had opportunities. Just every time they tried to move the ball forward, they were getting cut off in the midfield. And it's such a frustrating position to be in when you're losing like that. You're trying to get goals going, but unfortunately, every time you do, you just can't quite get the ball into the offensive third. And of course, the counterattacks happen. So, quite unfortunate, but I would say they didn't play that terribly. They don't let that one get away from them. Dignipaws just looks so strong here. Looks like they've absolutely bounced back from their week 2 loss here. So, happy to see it. You know, you got at least 2 more games to play, so I think the Twisted Tails can kind of maybe kind of get those counterattacks rolling like they were week 1, and have a game 2 bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, Twisted Tails definitely a strong roster, and they are more than capable of getting back into this match as we head into game 2, hopefully here in the next few seconds. As we are looking to kind of maybe see a bit more pressure from Twisted Tails coming out in this matchup. So we'll need to, enough speculating, we're just going to need to see if they're able to put their way back into this game. Liska on kickoff. Sharky is going to get early control of this, going for a double, unable to get it in though. Liska not getting a favorable 50 against Nova there, leaving Kiki with an open net, not able to convert on it though. So we'll need to see if they're able to keep that pressure up like what we saw last game. Kiki, trying to get a control play here, is able to keep control. Is going to get dunked by Joshi, though. Nova trying to get a 50 on Joshi. That's going to be tough for him, though. Unfortunate for him. Sylvie getting a 50 with Baxis. Lots of 50s coming out in the midfield. It's kind of just been caught up in the midfield here, and I mean, no clear advantage from either team early on in this game, Docky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a little bit more of what I saw in game 1. Just a lot of possession for Dignipaws, and this is making it so awkward for Twisted Tails, trying to get some footing on defense. But every time they try to, they're just met. You know, they're not quite able to get past that neutral third, and they're kind of getting stuck in their own defensive third because of that. Every time they get the ball forward, they're just not quite boost. They don't. The boost just isn't there for them. They have to do so much work to get the ball out of their defensive third. They're wasting all their boost, and by the time the ball comes back, they have none, and this is just a result of that. Unfortunately, no boost. Baxis is the only one with boost on defense, and this is a fantastic read from Sylvie. Not much you can do there when you're on defense there. Dignipaws up 1, and looking like maybe more of the same here. Again, Twisted Tails can regain. I think they'll want to. Gotta maybe try to connect Mora, get the ball out of their own defense. So tough to do, though, when you're up against an offense like this.
I mean, Docky, cool and collected as always, but I mean, that Sylvie just taking over this game. 2 goals really early on. That fantastic read early on, and right there, just getting a really good speed, beating out all 3 Twisted Tails defenders to put them up by 2. Just a minute and a half into this game, and I mean, Twisted Tails just doesn't seem to be able to figure out an answer for the Sylvie onslaught happening in this match. Once again, Sylvie air dribbling all the way across the field, forcing Liska to make a fantastic save on the Twisted Tails half. Nova getting a good 50 into the corner for Kiki, who's going to bang this away over to Sylvie. Sylvie going for the sidewall read. That's going to be a tough one to make, though. But it seems like Joshi's just going to let Sylvie have the boost there. Potentially a good decision. Might have taken him a bit out of position to grab it, but Baxis getting a huge... Or no, that Sharky was able to get a huge 50 there just to put that ball in the net. And oh no, that was Baxis able to get a big 50, Sharky securing the goal. I think that was in anyways, but Baxis is not the type to get upset about that. Always a great team player, and Baxis just able to set up Sharky so well right there. Sharky, good finish. So this is back to a 1-goal game, and it's good to see Twisted Tails being able to respond to this early pressure from Dignipaws.
That's what they do best in those situations. That's what they did best week 1. Those counterattacks, just getting the ball forward, making the opponents feel a little bit more comfortable on offense, making feel like that they can have control of the ball, and then you just catch them off guard. You get the ball forward. Those counterattacks are so dangerous, and they're very good at it. And they're showing that there. So they're definitely not out of this. That's what you want to see out of this team. Just composure. Don't let the scoreline get to your head. Just keep playing your game, and they definitely have been doing that. Fantastic. Midfield, unfortunately, it's not quite connecting there. That's fine though. It's still got all the boost. They still have possession here. This is still dangerous. And again, the momentum a little bit shifting here. Twisted Tails looks a lot more comfortable on these offensive possessions. They might actually have some opportunities here. They're shutting down, I think, the ball being stuck kind of in their own defense. And Joshi, I mean, again, the counterattacks are just so strong. Every time Dignipaws feels like they might be comfortable in the midfield, the ball just goes so quickly towards their own goal, and there's just no one back for it. So they equalize with another counterattack, and Twisted Tails looks like they might be turning this series around.
I mean, Joshi, a bit low on boost there, but he's just so good at keeping his momentum up. He doesn't need the boost to stay fast, and that really shows on that play. And they immediately get the ball back down on the Dignipaws half here. So, I mean, Dignipaws going to need to get the momentum back in their favor if they want to get back into this one. Sylvie with a great flick to get over 1 or 2 there. But they're unable to capitalize on it immediately, at least, being a bit jumbled up in all on top of each other there. But that's a great counterattack shot by Kiki, but it's just off. And I've seen a couple of those by Kiki so far where they're just barely hitting it off post, just barely off the mark on their shots. And there's been a few of them that Kiki's going to want back. And if he's able to clean that up just a little bit, that's going to be huge for this Dignipaws roster. Sylvie, able to clear it down. Liska is going to control it into her own corner here. But Kiki getting a good 50. Nova is going to try to follow it up. Gets beat out there. and Sylvie is going to need to make a clear into the Twisted Tails half. That's just going to leave it for Joshy, though, who's always dangerous when he has the ball, but they get a demo on him. Baxis is going to try to get a clear, and it looks like we're kind of seeing a bit of ping pong here, Docky. Just the ball kind of bouncing from half to half, and I mean, that seems like it would favor Twisted Tails since they have such a strong counterattack in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like both teams are starting to gain momentum. Sometimes you see a lot of this back and forth when that happens. I mean, both teams are really strong in the midfield. Unfortunately, as I say that, I mean, I feel like I just cursed it. Sylvia's just going to pop this over. Again, it's kind of low boost. A little bit maybe of a miscommunication there from Twisted Tails. Not sure who's going for that ball and who's supposed to stay in net. Sylvie, I think, notices that. Just takes a shot on net. 41 seconds left. With how this game has been kind of neutral for the past minute or so, feels like maybe an insurmountable lead, but Twisted Tail's definitely not out of it yet.
I mean, especially how Twisted Tails can have such quick counterattacks, as you see right there, Sharky almost able to connect on one. They're never really out of the game unless they are down by a truly huge lead, so we'll hope to see them maybe be able to put their way back into this game. Sylvie going for the ceiling shot double, unable to connect on it though. Kiki unable to get the follow-up. Sharky is going to have a dribble play, but that's a crucial demo. You never want to see, you know, Champ 1 and Nova being stuck on defense against a full boost Sharky, but that's a huge defensive play there. Kiki going to try to drop this one, and that's going to secure it for Dignipaws, going up 2-0 in the series and being on triple match point for the side of Dignipaws. And I mean, that's never the position you want to be in if you're on Twisted Tails. And what do they got to do to be able to get their way back into this series, Docky?
I think they started to show how they can do that, I should say. In that second game, Twisted Tails showed a lot of life in that game. They did lose, and they are on triple match point, but they definitely showed that they can be a lot stronger, and they showed to be a lot stronger in this second game. So I don't think they're out of the series. I don't think the series is close to over yet. And if Twisted Tails can, you know, kind of lock down the defense, go back to their roots of controlling the ball forward and making sure they have the momentum, I think they definitely can still come back in this series for sure.
Definitely. If there is a team that's going to be able to come back in this series, it is going to be Twisted Tails. I mean, Dignipaws looking like they did week 1, but Twisted Tails always a dangerous team. We've seen how they can play, and I mean, just being so well-rounded as they go into this Game 3 triple match point. We'll need to see if we're able to get some solid plays coming out from this Twisted Tails team. Sylvie trying to get some early pressure here. Baxis is going to be left in net, and Kiki just getting such a fast read on that shot. Well played by Dignipaws there with the 1-2 connection between Sylvie and Kiki there. I mean, that chemistry is really showing, and that's going to put Dignipaws up by 1 early on in this game. Definitely not over yet, but it seems like they're maintaining a lot of that momentum that they had early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good shot, especially with Sylvia up. I mean, if you're Josh, you got to be up quick for that. Unfortunately, when that ball drops down and you got two of your lowering players on low boost that have to cover, you know, kind of the entirety of the net, and you have no idea where that ball is going to go, especially when it's dropping down like that. So it's a good play, it's a good setup, and they definitely are taking those every time. But Baxis, that's a fantastic shot. This is a little bit of a scrum here. There's some 50s come through in the midfield, and Baxis just cleans that one up. Well played shot high over some pre-jumps, and that's what you want to see if you're Twisted Tails. You want to see Baxis scoring those goals. You want to see him, you know, cleaning up those pop-outs, being in position for that. So that's a good sign for Twisted Tails. They will equalize. And like I said before, they definitely still have life in this series, as we're seeing Sylvie on the Ford Bronco, I believe that is. So I'm not sure if that will work in his benefit or against him here.
I mean, that double, I think he's hitting that in a Fennec or an Octane, but I mean, car choice, it doesn't matter all that much. We've heard that from many people, so Definitely not the first time I've seen Sylvie in the Ford Bronco. He should be pretty familiar with that car. Already going for all his mechy plays. Kiki almost getting a follow-up there, but Sylvie just able to get the little bit of a soft clear on the side of Twisted Tails out and just putting it right back in their net. Nova potentially causing a little bit of disruption on Sharky there, but Twisted Tails is so low boost on that play anyways that you think that it might have been tough for them to be able to survive that much longer anyways. Nova getting a good 50 right back into the Twisted Tails half once again, and Dignipaws just showing a bit of dominance here once again, just taking over this game. And I mean, as much as the scoreline is close, it just feels like Dignipaws has such good control over this game as Kiki puts another shot, turning into a double, very similar to that double we saw Kiki hit in the Combine, showing that they definitely have that shot down if you give them the chance to hit it. And I mean, that's going to put Dignipaws up 3-1, and having won the first 2 games of this series, Twisted Tails needs an answer quickly if they want to stay in this series.
Yeah, it's such a tough position for Baxis to be in. You got low boost, you can't really make a jump for it. You saw Baxis drive forward, maybe hoping that Kiki misses that double, but Kiki has not been missing those shots all series long. And that's part of the reason why they're in the lead in the series and in this game, on the verge of a 3-0 sweep. They're just hitting the shots that they need to hit. Every single ball, they have not been missing much, and that's so difficult to go against when you're going against players that can make shots like this Dignipaws team can. They're hitting the mark, and you gotta hope that they start missing, get some of the counter-attacks going, and they will if Baxis gets another one, so they're definitely not out of this. And this is exactly, as I was saying it, what you want to see from Twisted Tails, is if you want to start winning, this is how you do it. Good passing plays, that's a fantastic pass, and a fantastic read from Baxis. Love to see the connection there. A lot of time left, 240. They needed that goal, so now they're only down 1. Definitely still have a shot to extend the series at least 1 game more.
I mean, Baxis, it's great to see him being able to get so involved there, but that's the type of plays we want to see from Joshi as the top-ranked player from that team. He doesn't need to score all the goals. He just needs to set up his teammates for those relatively easy shots that aren't really requiring a ton of mechanical prowess. So it's good to see, but it looks like that's going to be just off the mark. But Dignipaws trying to hit on their own counterattack there as they have some pressure here. Sylvie playing it up high, trying to get another touch on this, able to get one to drop one down to Nova. Nova opting for the soft shot there, which can be very effective in those positions, but is unable to hit the mark there. Trying to get another shot on net. Nova missing. Sylvie playing it to the side. They're a bit low on boost. They're all on 0 for a second there, but Sylvie is able to get 100. The other 2 are just pad pathing. Sylvie cashing in that boost to try to get a block there, and that's going to allow Liska to strike one home. And that's the type of influence we want to see Liska having, just being able to be in the right position to get these redirects and those shots on net like we saw her being so effective at last season. So, I mean, this is exactly what Twisted Tails needs, and they are right back in this match.
Yeah, it's the bread and butter, the counterattack. They've been doing it all series long. They've been doing it really, really well. That's how they've stayed close in this series. They will need to keep doing it, though, if they want to have a chance to win this game and extend this series another game more, as they are on the verge of elimination here. They're definitely not letting that get to them. They're still playing strong. They're still managing to win a lot of these 50s. A lot of these challenges are going in their favor. When that's happening, they definitely have scoring opportunities. So they can keep this up, kind of limit the mistakes here. I can see them absolutely winning this. They definitely have the momentum. I think that being down, how many goals they were down, being able to cut that lead, and then eventually equalize has been nice for them. So you have to imagine that their mental right now is probably pretty strong. They can keep that going. And might have a chance to take a lead here as an unfortunate pop-out. And Baxis gets his 3rd goal, hat-trick for Baxis in Game 3. Baxis is absolutely playing fantastic. That's a really, really good 50. Not quite a counterattack, but that is taking advantage of a little bit of that no one in defense there for Dignipaws to cover that pop-out and that 50. With 52 seconds left, Twisted Tails up 1. This is looking very good on the side of Twisted Tails. They are playing fantastic. They are playing so much better than they played Game 1. And the momentum from Game 2, I think, is going a little bit in their favor. It's a fantastic save from Joshi. Trying to keep that 1 goal lead. They definitely need. They might need maybe a buffer goal. I'm sure they'd love one. They'll definitely have to try here. Limit the mistakes. And there's the counterattacks again as a really good demo, and Joshi will give them the buffer that they desperately wanted. And again, the counterattack's just so strong, catching them out of position and capitalizing on it every single time.
I mean, right there, Sharky, that's just such a good demo to be able to take Sylvie out of the play right there. Maybe just getting a little bit slow in that Bronco right there. The Bronco just might be a little bit slower than the Octane and Fennec, but we'll have to see if Sylvie opts to run it back in the Bronco, or if he's going to go back to the more sweaty cars as Sharky just puts another one in. And I mean, Baxis making a fantastic touch to corner to leave Nova awkward, and Sharky just finishing that. And I mean, the Sharky Baxis duo has looked very strong in this last game, seeing multiple passing plays right there, and that's just really good to see because Baxis has had a huge impact on this game, kind of winning that lower ranked matchup that we're kind of keeping an eye on between Nova and Baxis. So we'll need to see if Baxis is able to keep that momentum up going into this final game, but this one's going to fall to Twisted Tails as they try to claw back one more goal in that goal differential, but unable to do so. Twisted Tails taking this game by 3 in Game 3.
Yeah, Baxis was I think the key to that one. I mean, I feel like that was just, if you're watching that, it almost felt obvious, but Baxis played incredible. I don't think I've seen Baxis play that well in a long time, or I don't know if ever. That's fantastic play. Even that last pass, the aerial, hit that into the corner, make that super awkward for the defense to read, and then Joshi obviously gonna make that shot almost every single time. And yeah, this Twisted Tails team looks completely revitalized mid-series. We'll see if they're able to keep the momentum up, but you gotta be happy with yourself. They played so incredibly well in this Game 3.
They absolutely have, and I mean, we're going to get a lot of goals being scored in this clip montage, but I mean, Dignipaws showing their offensive prowess once again, but they kind of had a little bit of struggles on the defense, and desirably, they would have wanted to put that one away before Twisted Tails gets any momentum to get back into this series, but they're unable to do so, so we're going to need to see if we're seeing any card preset changes or anything like that from the Dignipaws side, and I mean, we'll see. I think that'll be kind of telling on where their focus is at going into this Game 4. But good to see this one not falling to a sweep. But I'm going to be looking really closely at Baxis going into this Game 4. And I mean, if he's able to keep up this sort of pressure on the Dignipaws roster, that's going to be really, really difficult to counteract. So, I mean, enough speculation. We'll just need to see how it works out as Sylvie is able to get a dunk on Baxis on that kickoff. Nova getting a quick follow-up on it. Not necessarily in too effective of a position, though. Sylvie opting to go in whatever car this is. I don't know what it is, but some sort of pickup truck. And, I mean, it's good to see Sylvie just showing a little bit of style in these league matches as they're trying to get some early possession. Nova opting to pass it to Sylvie. Sylvie going to let Sharky get a touch off a back wall here. Going to try to play it past him. And then letting Kiki try to clean this one up. Unable to, though. Nova getting a 50. Baxis going to try to play this to the side and able to do so well. And, I mean, we're seeing quite a bit of pressure from that Dignipaws roster so far in this match.
Sylvie, as the ex-professional freestyler, loves to play in these kind of weirder cars, go for some kind of goofy mechanical shots in them, and that's definitely Sylvie. That's how you know Sylvie's having fun. So Sylvie's been playing the game a lot more recently, so we'll see if that works in Sylvie's favor. I'm sure that Sylvie would love to win this match, but they'll probably have fun either way. They do have a lot of pressure early on, and might be a bit of an own goal, but just great pressure. I don't think anyone was saving that regardless. I think Kiki was there to clean that up if that was saved out. And again, it looks like just the pressure is how Dignipaws has been scoring most of their goals this entire series, and I think that is that goal showed that very well. They just keep the pressure going. You gotta get those counterattacks rolling. If you're Twisted Tails, maybe try to catch them off guard, and I'm sure they will do that. But it was just a fantastic goal from Sylvie to give them a 1-goal lead. A lot of time though for Twisted Tails to regain here. We'll try to start doing that as soon as they possibly can.
I mean, oh my gosh, Liska, that's disgusting. I mean, I know me and Arrow both are repeatedly saying Liska's goated, but the reset double, that is absolutely insane. Liska, I have a feeling that that's going to end up in the top 5 plays of the week. I am speechless. Fantastic goal by Liska, and I mean, she's just showing off her mechanical prowess, not just able to capitalize on 50s, but also able to show off some more flashy plays of her own. Liska, oh my gosh, that's disgusting. But Bax is playing it into the corner. Sharky is going to try to clear this out. Sylvie trying to get some control here, going for the reset, unable to set it up for Kiki though, who's going to put that one high. Liska opting for a pass forward to Sharky, and I mean, you give Sharky an open, I mean, any sort of time against the champ 1, and he's going to take advantage of it. Great shot by Sharky, great pass by Liska, and I mean, Liska showing up early is the difference maker early on in this match, so we'll need to see if Dignipaws is able to have an answer, and Docky, take it away.
I mean, it's just unfortunate. This is just, it's an unfortunate miss on the kickoff, but I do want to point out, you can almost tell that when they scrim that Joshy has a specific way he likes to play, and they have been doing that really well. I mean, it is pass and shoot. They waste very little time on these offensive possessions they have. It is just pass the ball to another player on your team, and then shoot counterattack. And they've been doing that. Joshy did that a ton last season, doing it again this season, and they're doing it so well. I mean, a lot of these opportunities are just coming off of breakaways, and this has been like I said, this has been their bread and butter, and they're doing it so incredibly well. Liska's been popping off this game, but as a team, they're connecting on these passing plays so well as that almost goes in. Fantastic read, just slightly off. I think if that goes a little bit, bounces in a little bit, that's in every time. It's an unfortunate bounce off the crossbar to get that off of the post and then out, but. Again, Twisted Tails looks like a completely new team here in the latter half of the series. Completely different than they looked in Game 1.
I mean, the more this series goes on, the more I'm just seeing more and more potential long-term implications of this series. I mean, Twisted Tails is going to want this series so badly. Get that first game in the win column for their team. And I mean, Dignipaws, I mean, definitely a really strong roster, but they're going to want to stay out of the losing record column as much if they can at all help it. But I mean, I'm seeing Nova just show some really good game sense and points that you really would expect most Champ 1s to panic. So, I mean, I could see him getting picked up by a team after this series, and I mean, managers out there are going to be keeping an eye on that. But as I'm talking about Nova, that's not to say that Kiki is any less of a threat, because Kiki, with the amazing decal, might I add, is going to be able to put that one home every day of the week if you give an open ball for him to shoot on net like that. Great play by Kiki to just be there to put that one home. Liska a bit low on boost. That's going to give Sylvie the opportunity to get a double off of back wall. And seems like every time I start to talk, these teams just want to score. It's turning into a barn burner of a game as Sylvie just gets the double into a fantastic dunk, just showing that they have a little bit of mechanics of their own. Liska isn't the only one that can show some more flashy plays, as, I mean, this game just seems to be going back and forth all game long.
Yeah, I mean, for that first goal, I mean, I feel like I know that, oh my, again, it's just every single time. They're just, the scoring in the series has been absolutely insane. The momentum, I'm not sure what's happened here. The momentum, that might have been, it might have pinched off of Joshy's car. I was gonna say, the first goal, I'm sure Josh was kicking himself. That touch up to the ceiling was just not quite what he wanted, and then Kiki's there to collect that, and then they had the double from Sylvie, and now this breakout. But again, a minute, I feel like a minute is so much time in this series with how many goals have been scored. This is definitely not over, although this might be an overcommit from the side of Twisted Tails, but unfortunately not punished for it, or fortunately not punished for it if you're a Twisted Tails fan. They definitely have a ton of time. There's been so much scoring. I mean, Dignipaws has scored, what, 3 goals in the last 30 seconds? So you got time. And I feel like they definitely do have time, and they'll definitely take advantage of the time that they have if they're able to, or if they want to stay in this series and take this to a Game 5. 30 seconds left, though. They'll definitely need to try to get some of this offense moving as quickly as possible if they want to have a chance to win this game and take this to a Game 5.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to work it forward right now. It seems like this can be one of their last opportunities. Sylvie trying to put it away. Nova with the follow-up! That's a huge game sense play by Nova to just be there for that bounce out, staying wide so nicely. Sharky goes for boost there, and that's just going to leave Nova with the open net, and he strikes that home. And I mean, down by 2, 15 seconds left. They're opting for the fake kickoff to try to get that early possession. Maybe playing some mind games. Kiki playing it in the corner. Sylvie backing that up. Kiki following it up. And I mean, 3 seconds left. I think this is going to be about all she wrote for this game, Docky, as the final seconds tick away and they're just trying to play for that goal differential at this point. The ball following. Dignipaws securing the series in 4.
I mean, both teams played so incredible. I mean, that last one was 5-3. It was a 2-goal game, but it didn't feel like it. That 5th goal coming in, I think, off of a little bit of not desperation, but they definitely were searching for that equalizing goal, and I think that came back to bite them. Obviously, you need to, though, when you don't have that much time left, so it's unfortunate, but both teams played so well. If either side pat themselves on the back, I think they both played incredible in this series.
I mean, this seems to be kind of a recurring pattern with Twisted Tales, where they seem to be playing really well and really staying in these series nicely, but just can't quite find the wins when they really count. So, I mean, we'll need to see if they're able to just find a way to push through these matches, but definitely well played by both teams. Both teams were pretty impressive in that series, so not to say anything bad on the side of Twisted Tales, but Dignipaws just showing their best form once again, able to go 2-1 on the season.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're Twisted Tales, I mean, again, you've had some tough opponents here early on, but you've played well every time. So, you know, definitely don't hang your head too low, especially if your Baxes and Liska both popping off, I think, better than even I expected from both of them. So, yeah, fantastic play from Twisted Tales. And they will, I think they'll bounce back next week and be just as strong.
Yeah, Twisted Tales definitely a roster to keep an eye on because they have such a high ceiling and they're going to be perfectly fine going forward. I have full faith. But enough of that game. We have one more match to play later on today, and I think we're going to get right back to that right after this break. So we'll see you guys on the other side of that.
mind, yeah, I've tried to convert, but it's not that simple. I find it hard to describe how I feel looking out my window.
I get caught living in these thoughts, but I'm never lost. For a second I forgot. You can run, you can hide, you can slide back. Give it time, ease your mind, you'll survive that. You can run, you can hide, you can slide back. Just don't fight alone, you will find your way back home.
You will find your way back. You will find your way back. You will find your way back.
You will find your way back.
You will find
Find your way back. You can run, you can hide, you can slide back. Give it time, ease your mind, you'll survive that. You can run, you can hide, you can slide back. Just don't fight alone, you will find your way back home.
You will find your way back home. What you know about? 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 Double tap. What you know about? What you know about?
It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RFDL Week 3, Day 1. I'm Ecliptic Fades, joined by Arrow, Docky, and Firestreak, and we just saw Dignipaws take down Twisted Tails in 4. Parallax, what do you think about that game?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I was away making noodles, but I did catch quite a bit of it. I was honestly really hoping for a reverse sweep, but sadly that didn't happen. I'm just glad to know that my prediction was spot on. But honestly, just really, really well played from both teams, especially that shot from Liska. I told you she's goated. Like, come on. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, for our casters in that match, Firestreak and Docky, how do you feel after that match? That was a really close one. I said this during the break, but I kind of felt like Sylvie was doing really great at first, and then decided to start freestyling a little bit more and started throwing away some shot opportunities, but then brought it back in the end. So what do you guys think for Dignipaws? How are they looking?
I mean, you see, yeah, like you said, you saw the swap to the Ford Bronco and then the Raptor. So, it might have been just the F-150. I think it was just the F-150. But yeah, that's when Sylvie's usually trying to go for some of those more like clippable moments. But again, that's not to put down, I think, the effort that Twisted Tails had. I mean, they played so well. I mean, Baxis, the hat trick, right, in Game 3, Liska, a flip reset double tap. I mean, and then Joshy doing Joshy things. They played fantastic, and I think they should be proud of themselves.
Absolutely, and I mean, I feel like Twisted Tails, again, they've just been so close in so many of these series, playing really well. And one of these weeks, they're going to put the finishing touch on one of these series, but it was not in the cards this week for them. But I have a feeling it's going to be very soon that we're going to see them be able to get through one of these series and end up on the winning end of it. So just give them time. They'll be here. They'll recover.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think that they're looking really dangerous. They just haven't had the best of circumstances so far, but I'm sure they'll find their footing sooner rather than later in this league, and they're just starting, so we'll see what week 4 has for them. But we have one more match to end off the day, guys, and it's going to be Purrsion 1 playing against is it Purrsion 1 and Fox Clan, I believe.
Yes, it will be Purrsion 1 and Fox Clan, and I mean, two very good teams in their own right. Fox Clan maybe starting off the season 1-1, if I remember right, so kind of fighting in the middle of the pack, and Purrsion 1 starting off the season on fire. So, I mean, both of them won last week, and we'll need to see who is able to carry more momentum into this week 3 matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to reiterate, Purrsion 1 so far is completely undefeated, having not even dropped a single game, which, safe to say, is nothing short of absolutely terrifying. We might have another BBG on our hands.
I don't know if I'd go that far just yet.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, the ability to do that is just crazy. It's
Crazy.
Yeah. No, it is though. And I you know, obviously long season ahead, but the ability to do that early on is impressive. So regardless of, you know, how many weeks it has been, I think they look really good. So I hope, you know, obviously they'll hope to keep doing that, but they do got a tough opponent going into game 3 or week 3.
I mean, if you want to draw parallels to a BBG from last season, if I remember right, it was week 3 with Dignipaws, who was a scrappy middle of the pack team at that point in the season that was able to take that first game off of them. So, I mean, if we're going to draw those correlations, then this would be the perfect time to see a team finally take a game off of Black Bunny right here.
Black Bunny.
I mean, it's not Black Bunny, it's Purrsion 1,
It's
but...
Purrsion 1. I mean, still, though.
the point gets across.
Yeah, the point's still there. And I mean, either way, Purrsion 1, very strong team. They've played really well up to this point, and I mean, it's going to be interesting. They have very capable opponents this week, and yeah, we'll see if they're able to handle it just as well as they've handled the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have to agree. So let's go ahead and just start talking about these guys as we're getting ready for this matchup. Let's talk about, on the blue side, going to be Fox Clan coming in here, and they had a really good showing against Protogen Rebellion last week. We got Taka, Javian, and Cosmo playing in this one, and guys, Fox Clan is starting to look like they're gonna go on a roll here soon.
I mean, Fox Clan definitely, we talk about the Taka Javian chemistry like every week, and that's still going to be there. You see their stats are very similar to each other. They're kind of within the same ballpark of each other in every single trackable stat.
Actually, yeah, geez, those are similar.
Like, super similar. I do want to see them work in Cosmo in a little bit more of a significant way. Because I know Cosmo's capable of it. We saw that last week. But if they're able to do that just a little bit more, I think this team will really start to find its form.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think that's part of the reason they had the advantage last week, is that I think you started to see Cosmo be more involved in their scoring, obviously hitting that fantastic backboard read to win game 4. But yeah, if they can get Cosmo involved more, and so that they have more of that rotational gameplay, yeah, they'll definitely be a tough opponent to play against.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that it's going to be a tough one. I definitely want to see Cosmo pop off, but you can never doubt Taka and Javian as a duo. They know how to put on very, very high flashy goals, and against Purrsion 1, I think that's going to be what they kind of need to do. I think they're going to need to try and get behind the defensive line as much as possible, as we do know Purrsion 1's defense has been stellar this season. But let's talk about them. They're the undefeated team coming into this one. It's going to be Purrsion 1 with Drake, Hayes, and Golden leading that roster.
I mean, they have been the team to beat so far this season. They haven't even dropped a single game, even going up against that very capable Dignipaws team last week. I mean, eventually they're going to need to drop a game this season, but is it going to be this week? Who knows? I really liked seeing Drake play last week. He really kind of, I saw him doing a lot last week for his team, and I mean, being top 5 in 3 categories is nothing to scoff at, but it does show, like, they don't have somebody who's just leading top of the league in everything. They are all contributing, and that's why this team is so scary to play against.
Yeah, honestly, because, like, with a lot of other teams, there's, like, you can possibly find some, like, weak links that you can, like, exploit, but against this team, they're just all so just balanced, really. And it just... It feels like you're just playing, just like it feels like it's not a draft league, really. It just feels like you're just playing just a straight team of just all pretty much just like the same rank that have been playing with each other for so long.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that they definitely have what it takes to continue on with their dominance, but I think this is going to be a tough team to do it against. I want to ask, what are you guys looking for in each of these teams to kind of take it over the other here?
I mean, personally, I'm going to be looking at Cosmo on the side of Fox Clan, because he's been showing up in moments, but I just want to see a little bit more consistency in terms of just being involved in these matchups from Cosmo, because, I mean, we saw that he has flashes, but I want to see if he's able to just stay involved that little bit more throughout an entire series. That's what allowed them to kind of stay in the series last week, and if they want to have a repeat of last week where they're able to pull off a really good series win, they're going to need that from Cosmo once again. On the side of Purrsion 1, I'm not going to be looking at any player in particular, really. I'm going to be looking at the team as a whole more and seeing how in sync they are, and if they're able to just all stay on the same page at all times like they have been the past 2 weeks. So we're going to need to see. I mean, it's going to be a good matchup, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
I mean, yeah, like, I just completely agree with all that. Like, I feel like, specifically, like, the biggest player who has a say in how this match is going to go is Cosmo. Because if Cosmo is just really just playing his A game, I know Taka and Javian already have that chem. If Cosmo is just able to just somehow fit in with that chem, Purrsion 1 is going to definitely have a difficult game on their hands.
Definitely.
All right, well, Fire, if you would go ahead and let us know what the predictions were for this before we get into it, we could get this match underway.
I mean, this one's pretty much a split decision across the board. We have Daki, Fade. Yeah, Daki and Fade both choosing Fox Clan as their favorites for this matchup, but Hammer, me, and Arrowlax all opting for Purrsion 1, both me and Arrow in a 4-game series, while Hammer is opting for the 5-game. So, I mean, we got just about every single possible combination on this as a prediction, so, I mean, we'll just need to wait and see.
That is correct. It looks like there's nothing left to do besides wait and see, and it is time, guys. The predictions are in. The match is ready to be started. Let's get going. It's the final match of the day. It's going to be Fox Clan versus Purrsion 1. Will Purrsion 1 be able to continue their dominance of the league, or will Fox Clan come in to upset them? We've got Arrowlax and Fire. Take it away, guys.
I mean, two very capable teams facing off against each other. And we'll need to see, we're looking for some chem from both teams here. Taka is able to get an early possession on this game, trying to get the ceiling shot, and she's just going to slot that away. Great play by Taka.
Honestly, just the perfect way to start up a match here. Just right off the kickoff, taking it down and just going right under the defense. Right past Drake, right past Golden, slotting that one through. Fox Clan, first goal of the series in only 9 seconds. Very, very good play from them. We're going to have to see if they can do the same, but it looks like Purrsion 1 going to have a little bit of possession here, but it's going to get thrown away straight to Fox Clan. Now Drake trying to put this one through the midfield. Taka going to cut it off, gets a good touch up and over. Hayes playing it very, very patient, pops it over Taka. Javian a little bit too close to really challenge that. We're seeing just a bit of back and forth here, as that one's just going to get slotted right the way through, as Cosmo was in the perfect position to save that, but just couldn't get a powerful enough touch off of it.
Yeah, Cosmo kind of creeping back into the middle of his net there. Desirably, you'd want to see him being able to put a challenge on that ball instead of waiting for it to come back to him, but unfortunately, he's just a little bit awkward positioning-wise there. We see some early pressure from Purrsion 1 here already. We're going to see Cosmo go for the 50, is able to get it over. Drake taking possession. Drake going for the flip reset. Trying to get a dunk and is able to get it. Beautiful play from Drake to put Purrsion 1 in the lead. Only 1 minute into this game.
That is absolutely insane there. That reset to get it under the defender and then just pushing it right the way through, just barely sneaking it by that bar. Just an amazing shot from Drake there. We're gonna have to see if Purrsion 1 can just continue their dominance here, as it looks like they might be doing, but Fox Clan definitely not gonna go down without a fight. But Hayes just gonna just the complete ego challenge on Jay, and Jay just clearly did not expect that.
Yeah, I mean, after that first goal, I was kind of wondering, is Fox Clan just going to be able to make a statement early? But Purrsion 1 is just so unfazed, and they've put away 3 goals in quick succession. And, I mean, Fox Clan is going to want to stop the bleeding here as they get an amazing save. Well played by, I believe that was Taka, to get just this perfect save right when they need it. Cosmo abandoning that play. He might have been able to get that in if he was able to get back on that ball, but no dice there. Javian, ball's going to fall to him. He takes a shot on net. Triple commit by Purrsion 1. They might have a quick shot, but unable to get it powerful enough. Cosmo's going to need to put a 50 on this one. Kind of gets a miss, but Purrsion 1 is not able to follow that up. Javian taking possession, trying to take it up the field, a bit low on boost, trying to get the flick over. Hayes is going to stay near that, but he's going to need to pass it away. Taka taking possession, trying to get across down the middle of the field. Both Taka and Javian up, leaving Cosmo back. Low boost is able to get the 50, though. Taka going up for the save is able to get the touch on that. Good save by Taka. Javian taking the ball, and I mean, we're seeing lots of pressure from Purrsion 1 still, but Fox Clan able to clear that one away.
Indeed, but Purrsion 1 once again with the pressure, nearly getting that one on target. Cosmo gonna be able to put this one over to the corner. Now Taka's gonna be up to Jay, who just barely isn't able to get it over Hayes. Now Hayes taking possession here. Drake trying to go for the pinch, but just not quite on the same wavelength. And Purrsion 1 might be showing a little bit of cracks in the armors. A pass over to the Jay just isn't quite able to make it on target. And another pass to Jay. It's going to go off the post. Cosmo challenging that one, but it's just going to get put into the hands of Purrsion 1 as Drake going to put this one down midfield. 2 minutes left. 3-1 to Purrsion 1. Fox Clan definitely struggling a little bit, but still has plenty of chances to come back in this game.
Yeah, they definitely have plenty of chances to come back, but I mean, Cosmo trying to get a clear there, unable to get it. Taka is going to try to follow this up with a second touch. It kind of runs out of boost there, though. Javian's going to need to get a challenge there. Pinches out to Golden. Golden unable to get the good touch. Is able to get a demo, though. That's going to leave Drake against Cosmo, and Drake is going to be there faster. Javian trying to get a challenge. Cosmo is going to follow on that ball to clear it to the side, but there's a little bit of space there. Drake is not home to be able to put it on. Javian going for the dribble, unable to flick it off fast enough, though, and that's going to leave pressure for the side of Purrsion 1, who's going to capitalize and just get a quick goal there on the counter.
And this is looking very, very bad for Fox Clan here. Currently down 3 goals with just 72 seconds left. That is definitely a difficult thing to come back from. Definitely not impossible, but at this point Fox Clan might want to just write off this game and just try and figure out what it is that Purrsion 1 is doing that is making them such a dominant team. Because we've seen, as I mentioned, currently not going down even a single game. And it looks like they are continuing to do so as Hayes nearly puts that one in. Golden with the follow-up, but Taka gonna be able to save that one away. Now Fox Clan having possession here. Golden just quick challenge there. That might actually be the secret to Purrsion 1's success here. It's just all those quick challenges not allowing Fox Clan to have even a tiny bit of space. But Javian just gonna make his own space here. Just slamming through Hayes, a bit of a miss on the side of Purrsion 1, and is just able to dunk that through. But with 2 goals down, 26 seconds left, not out, but still very, very difficult to do.
I was gonna say Fox Clan are just gonna be looking for any sort of momentum they can get going into this next game, and it looks like they're going to find that with that goal. Javian trying to get it middle, maybe they're not counting themselves out of the game yet, but with only 10 seconds left, down by 2, that's a very tall order, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to put one in immediately to make that possible. They're kind of got an overcommit, though. Golden trying to put another one in for the goal differential, unable to do so, though. Javian taking it over. Taka forwarding it We're going to try to get a clear from Purrsion 1,
Oh.
unable to do so. JVN unable to finish that, and that was the opportunity they were looking for to just get that little bit more momentum going into the next game. But right there at the end of the game, we saw some great pressure from Fox Clan, and if they're able to continue that through to this next game, they may be able to turn this series around after Purrsion 1 takes game 1.
Oh, absolutely, they can. And while once again Purrsion 1 looking just absolutely dominant, I was starting to see a little bit of holes that Fox Clan might actually be able to take advantage of. And specifically with those very speedy plays that we saw there, like Taka just coming off that ceiling there, quickly going to the ground and then taking the shot. I feel like Purrsion 1 just isn't quite able to deal with those as well as those I guess like slower plays, such as like the passing plays between Jay and Taka. So while Jay and Taka do definitely have that chemistry specifically with passing, they might have to opt for something else in order to actually take this series.
I mean, that save by Taka there, that is just beautiful stuff. I mean, you can't ask for better on defense than that. But I mean, you are right. Every goal that Fox Clan has gotten so far is off of 50s on the goal line. And that's the sort of thing you want to see from these high pressure teams, just getting involved on that back line, making those 50s and just throwing themselves at the ball, because that's how you're going to score on a team like Purrsion 1. Going into game 2, we're going to see how this kickoff plays off. It looks like it's going to fall into the corner of Fox Clan. Javian should have possession here. Is going to play off of his corner wall, trying to get an air dribble to give his team possession early on in this game. It's going to be Taka trying to clear it across, but that's just going to fall to Golden on Purrsion 1. Golden's going to try to get a pass across to Drake. Drake low on boost, is able to get the shot off though. Javian there for the save. Hayes unable to get the touch right there. Javian going to try to apply pressure. Drake unable to get the touch he wants, so that's going to allow Fox Clan to play to the middle of the field. No follow-up by Cosmo there though. That's what I'm saying, he's got to be there for those. We want to see him be a little bit more active in these games, taking shots like that to keep them in the game. And early on, it looks like Fox Clan has quite a bit of pressure.
Indeed they do, and so far, neither team conceding even a single goal. As I might have just jinxed it, no, Golden is going to be there for the save. A glorious save, keeping out that shot from Taka. Now Hayes with his own shot, going to get it over the defense, but Taka once again going to be there. And it's a breakaway, and Jay is just going to be there to solidify that goal. Hayes not able to get back, and Fox Clan once again the first goal of the game.
I mean, the counterattack works out well for them right there. Purrsion 1 just a little bit overcommitted on that play, which is going to allow that Taka Javian combo to really show itself. Immediately, we're going to see Purrsion 1 applying a bit more pressure though. They've had quite a bit of pressure, just unable to capitalize on any of it so far this game. As we see Hayes getting kind of an insane pinch there. That came off like a rocket there, but that's going to give Purrsion 1 some much needed possession as they're trying to cross midfield here though. Drake able to get the dunk on Taka. Cosmo's gonna need to challenge this, is unable to get the challenge though, ends up kind of dunking Javian there, which is gonna leave Taka to clear it out. Javian trying to get some quick pressure, Drake trying to fill in. Drake up, getting to that ball, is able to air dribble it out of his own half. That's going to leave Cosmo to try to make the catch there, unable to get the touch he wants though. Hayes trying to get in mid. Taka and Javian working together to clear that one out. And Arrow, what tendencies are you seeing from these teams to try to really capitalize on some of these breakaways?
I mean, honestly, I feel like Purrsion 1 is just working so very well together, just so very closely. That can have its detriments where if you're on offense for a longer period of time, it can make the team kind of just creep forward just that little bit, which once a breakaway comes through, it can be just that much more deadly. Fox Clan was able to take advantage of that for that first goal. And we'll see if they can take advantage of it here as we're getting increased pressure from Purrsion 1. We can see their last man is very pushed up. Now with this breakaway, as you can see, just Purrsion 1 just has to rush right the way back. And that might be exactly what Fox Clan needs, just kind of let Purrsion 1 have a little bit of possession, a little bit of pressure, so that once Fox Clan can finally get a breakaway, Purrsion 1 is just rushing back as fast as possible. And I feel like that's going to give them a very, very good chance of putting in some more goals here.
Absolutely, and we're kind of seeing Cosmo is going to try to get the double off the backboard there. Is almost able to get pretty nutty play there, but is unable to finish that one off, which is going to keep Purrsion 1 within 1 goal of this game. Taka trying to redirect it in, unable to get enough power on that though. Might have had the accuracy. Javian getting a 50. We're going to see Taka try to control this, is going to be able to play it over to Javian. Javian following it up. Javian getting a good 50. Golden trying to clear it out. Cosmo going for the 50, unable to get it though. Taka is going to be able to keep the pressure on this Purrsion 1 half of the field, and with 1 minute left, we're seeing Purrsion 1 just kind of getting out pressured here. It seems like Fox Clan is able to get quite a bit of control on their half of the field, and it's becoming very hard for Purrsion 1 to be able to clear this ball out, as Cosmo is going to try to pass this to the middle, unable to do so though. Drake trying to get it mid for Hayes. Hayes able to clear to the Fox Clan corner.
With 45 seconds left, Purrsion 1 might be looking at their first game loss, as Taka gonna get another save. Coming up with 30 seconds left, Purrsion 1 just desperately need a goal if they want to keep their dominance, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, as Fox Clan starting to play this just a little bit slower, a little bit more possession heavy, as a bump comes out, but Cosmo is going to be there to cover for Javian on the goal line. Getting a flick up, it's going to go straight to Taka, who gets a 50 past that last defender. With 10 seconds left, Purrsion 1 is going to have only one more chance to stay in this game here, as Golden gets it over, but Jay is just going to fake it. It goes down, and Fox Clan, the first team to take a game off of this absolutely dominant Purrsion 1.
I mean, what a series, or what a game right there. What a series this is becoming. It's just very well played by Fox Clan, just out-surviving Purrsion 1, just making that one less mistake to end up coming out on top in this game. And you love to see it. Just very strong defense by Fox Clan there, really never being caught too awkward on that defensive front, and that's the type of chemistry we like to see, especially against an offensive heavy team. We saw Purrsion 1 trying to get those bumps and trying to be disruptive, but it just wasn't quite enough that game, as they were not able to put a goal in the net against that stellar Fox Clan defense.
Yeah, but honestly, just still really, really well played from both teams, as that was just so back and forth the entire way, and just like it felt like there was so much action in that game, yet it was just one goal for the entire game. That just is insane.
I mean, you know me, I love to see these defensive games, and
of
hopefully
course,
we'll see some more. We'll be hoping to see a few more of those coming up, but these are two very high-powered offenses, and we'll need to see if it continues being a defensive series as we head into Game 3.
Here we go into Game 3. Fox Clan looking to take yet another game off of Purrsion 1. They now have the momentum in their favor, and we're going to have to see what that game win does to Purrsion 1, as especially being so dominant of a team, that first loss can really take a toll on your mental. But this team just needs to remember that they are a very, very dominant team, and one game is nothing compared to just the entire rest of the league. But we're gonna see what they can do here, as Fox Clan getting a lot of pressure here. It's finally gonna go through, and Taka just gonna slot that one right by Golden.
Yeah, we were seeing a lot of pressure from Fox Clan early on in this game, and it just ends up paying off with a goal right there. They were just taking shot after shot, and eventually one of those is going to squeak through, and that's exactly what we saw right there. The kickoff is going to go to sidewall. Drake is going to be the first one there, maybe trying to mimic what Javian did in the previous game to put one in the net, but unable to capitalize on it. Taka is going to have possession on the side of the field here, is able to get it over Drake, but Hayes going to be right there. But that's a huge dunk by Taka, staying behind that right, oh, so perfectly just to get that 50 on Hayes, and Taka showing up big for his team, bring them up 2-0, just barely more than 1 minute into this game.
It looks like Fox Clan might have just very quickly figured out the secret of Purrsion 1 and is now just exploiting it heavily. As 2 goals up, this is looking very, very dangerous for Purrsion 1. As Fox Clan looking to take yet another one, a quick shot on net, Golden able to save this away. Taka not able to get the touch, Drake take control of this, putting it into the corner, goes for the bump but just isn't quite able to get it. Javian staying on the ball, putting it over to the corner. Now Hayes trying to come off the ceiling but just doesn't have any boost to do anything with that ball. Taka gonna keep control of this. Golden trying to put it mid but just no one from Purrsion 1 there. Hayes gonna try and turn this one around. And Cosmo able to get the save. Seeing so much pressure on this Fox Clan net, but it looks like we might have a bit of a breakaway as Drake gonna put this one back. Nearly an own goal. Hayes has to rush back to get that one. With 3 minutes left, Purrsion 1 looking very, very shaky, honestly.
They really are, and this is kind of a position, once again, just like OwOptic earlier in the day, to be playing from behind this, and it sounds like we just got another goal, which is going to come courtesy out of Drake. Just able to get that read off of the back wall, and a very nice double. Purrsion 1 not out of it yet.
Yeah, and that was a very, very good double as well. Just having Jay just attacking that ball and just popping it right over him. But now Jay looking for a double of his own. It's not going to land. As Taka going to get the follow-up. Drake, another save yet again. And once again, just so much pressure on this Purrsion 1 net, but they have a breakaway here. Drake getting it over Cosmo and able to get through the entire defense. And Purrsion 1 suddenly right back into this game.
Yeah, they're so quick to respond to those early 2 goals, and as soon as they get one in, it seems like they're so effective at just putting in multiple goals in a row. What a shot there to just bring this game all even, bring the series completely even. And that's a big miss from Javian, unable to finish it though. Unfortunate break for Purrsion 1, and they're going to want that one back. Javian is going to have possession down the field, tries to flick it on net, unable to get it, but is able to get the follow-up, and Javian's going to put his team right back in the league. What a fantastic shot by him.
Absolutely, just able to get that around the defenders and then just off of that backboard, just able to read that and put it right past the defense. Very, very good shot from Javian, putting Fox Clan right back up in the lead, giving them that momentum that they were losing. But Purrsion 1 gonna want it back as Golden tries for the double, puts it down, and Drake, 3rd goal of the game already, is going to put that one in for Purrsion 1, and we are just seeing so many goals in this game. It is insane to watch.
Drake is just seems to be putting in shot after shot and just unrelenting pressure from Drake, and we love to see it. That's what we want to see the GC2 on it, with these more even teams being able to do for their team. Taka is going to try to get a bump there. No one's there to follow it up though. Javian getting a 50, and Foxland is momentarily really low on boost. But it looks like they're going to be able to take possession nonetheless, so after a quick recovery on their boost meters. Javian going for a 50. Drake is able to handle that every day of the week, though. Drake trying to play it forward, tries to get a play off the sidewall. That's going to be shut down, is able to get the continued pressure, leaving Javian to dodge a demo to try to get the save, and he's able to. Taka going for a double, unable to connect on it. Cosmo playing it to back wall. They're going to play to the side though. Javian going to get the follow-up. Taka trying to get the pass, unable to though. Taka going to take control here, and I mean, we're seeing lots of control on the side of Fox Clan, and that's allowing them to get quite a bit of pressure heading into the final minute of this game, and this game could go either way.
It really could. With 50 seconds left, just we're coming down to a situation where it's just a golden goal opportunity. Next goal might take this game and put whichever team scores it on match point, which makes this a very, very crucial goal to get. As Golden trying to get the pinch, Javian gonna put this one over the corner. Drake getting a good read, but it's just gonna go right into the hands of Taka. Hayes, a very, very quick challenge. A bit of a double commit here. And Purrsion 1 starting to get a bit of pressure built up here as Jay tries to get that past Hayes. A great dodge from Cosmo there, allowing him to stay on that ball. Now Taka taking this one out. It's going to go over to Jay as we count down the final 10 seconds. Getting it around 1, trying to air dribble it over. Drake with a glorious save, but it's still not over yet. Taka with a solo play of his own puts it over to the mid. Cosmo is not able to get there, and we have overtime in game 3.
I mean, game 3, series all tied overtime. You can't ask for anything better than this. Drake is going to try to get a ceiling play early on. Taka's going to clear to the side, though. Taka going for the double, unable to make connection with it, though. Javian, needing to get a tight save on his own goal line, is able to do so. Is able to get the dunk, too. We're going to see Cosmo try to get a 50 there, and that's going to leave Javian back. Low boost is able to get the save, though. Hayes trying to get a shot on net. Javian's going to be there, though. And Fox Clan surviving. Taka, a bit low on boost, trying to get pressure, though, is unable to hold it, though. Hayes is going to air dribble it out of his own half. Cosmo settling it towards the middle. Golden trying to get the clear with no boost is going to need a bit of support, though. Taka trying to get an air dribble all the way past his big save from Purrsion 1. And there's just so much pressure on both sides. They're both trying to make the statement goal to bring their team in the league, but is unable to do so. The fake,
Drake's back.
Huge. Drake is back. And Cosmo finishing that off only 1 minute into overtime. Fox Clan taking the lead back in this series.
Okay, that is just absolutely insane. Just so much pressure from both teams. I swear Purrsion 1 had the goal there, but just a glorious save from Jay to keep Fox Clan in that game, and then just bringing it right the way to the other side of the field, and just that was such a good fake from Taka there, just faking out 2 defenders, and then just popping it over the third for Cosmo to just finish off. Just what an amazing game that was.
I mean, this is the second week in a row that Cosmo's gotten a key goal to secure the victory for his team. Is he really finding his place as being that clutch factor for this team? I mean, we saw it with Factual with Dignipaws last season, but I mean, he might not be the most flashy player, and he might not be just constantly putting goals in the net, but he seems to be exactly where he needs to be when it counts, and that's something you always love to see from that lower ranked player. But I mean, that save by Javian is just so huge in overtime, and both teams having big plays in overtime, but it just seemed like Fox Clan had one more big play, which led to their victory there.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, like, I'm drawing parallels of that save to the save that Shy got against LumiMawcity. Just, it looked like a guaranteed goal, and then just popping that one off the crossbar, making it so hard to read for the offenders, and just such a great save that was. But, that was almost very dangerous for Purrsion 1 there. As we get into game 4 here, Fox Clan looking to take this one in 4, but Purrsion 1 trying to force a game 5 here and try and keep their perfect series record.
I mean, before this match, we were saying, can Fox Clan take a game off of Purrsion 1? But now it's looking like, can they take the entire series off of them? I mean, it's clear that Drake doesn't want that, though, and is able to get a big save there early on in this match. Javian playing it to the side. Purrsion 1 is having a bit of pressure here, though, which is exactly what they're going to need if they're going to take this victory. Taka able to get the clear out, though, but that's just going to fall to Purrsion 1. Hayes unable to get a good touch, though. Drake trying to play the midfield game a bit, trying to advance this ball forward, but it's kind of just sitting a little bit in the midfield. No team having very clear possession on this ball. Fox Clan, Javian getting the good clear out, gets the double off a sidewall, which is exactly what you want to see out of him. Getting a good dunk. Taka going for a follow-up is going to be able to get this middle. Golden trying to play to the side, and ooh, that's not the touch Drake wanted potentially, but he is able to recover it, which is very well played by him. And I mean, we see Purrsion1 able to get a little bit of an unfortunate pass there. Cosmo just in the perfect position to take advantage of Hayes being a bit awkward, a bit low on boost there, just kind of leaving Golden in an awkward spot. Cosmo finishing that play very strong there.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate there. Just the pass off to Golden. Golden was just not quite close enough to get a touch on that. And then Cosmo, as you said, perfect position to just slot that one home, and Hayes just not able to get back. But now we're seeing even more pressure building up for Fox Clan here, as we're seeing them just taking so much of the possession away from Purrsion1. As Jay just gonna pop this one over Hayes, tries for the 50 here. It's gonna go well, but no one from Fox Clan on that right side to get a shot opportunity off. As Taka gets this one off the backboard. A demo on Drake. Jay in a bit of an awkward position. No one else from Fox Clan able to follow that one up, as Taka gets a good 50 off into the midfield. Cosmo a bit too low for that one, but Jay with a massive clear over to the other side of the field, nearly getting the shot off as well, but it's just going to get saved over the corner. We're seeing just a lot of really just corner abuse on either side here. Neither team really risking putting it in front of their own net. However, Taka not just going to put it in front of the Purrsion1 net, he's going to score it as well. 2-0 for Fox Clan, and they are looking to take this one in 4.
A very nice breakaway goal by Fox Clan to just be able to clean up that shot. Once again, we're seeing Purrsion1 just a tad bit overcommitted. It seems like for Fox Clan, it's really effective when they're able to just survive on defense long enough to wait for Purrsion1 just to get that little bit overcommitted, as Purrsion1 can say, we can sense an overcommit too, and we can take advantage of that after that unfortunate touch from Fox Clan there. Golden just being in the perfect position to slot that one home, and I mean, as soon as it looks like Fox Clan is in control of this game, Purrsion1 finds an opportunity to be able to just put another great shot on net, bring them within 1 on this series. We see Fox Clan in a little bit of a risky position for Purrsion1 there, but they are able to survive. Taka trying to clear it out. That's going to fall to Golden, though. Golden not able to get the touch. Fox Clan going for the pass middle. That's going to be over! And Javian just coming up in huge ways for his team once again, and time after time. Javian just putting shots on net, leaving Purrsion1 a bit awkward, just unable to make the save there.
Yeah, but we're seeing just 2 minutes left. Purrsion1 still has a chance in this game. They can possibly force a game 5, as Drake trying to take that up. But Cosmo off the ceiling with the challenge. A very, very good challenge there. But I'm seeing just a little bit of panicking from Purrsion1, honestly. Just really just throwing the ball away. Not really getting a lot of possession that they usually have. And that might be just due to the pressure that Fox Clan is putting on them, as Hayes popping that one over his own teammate there. We're seeing just a lot of just the chemistry from Purrsion1 just breaking down as well. Fox Clan just might be the kryptonite to Purrsion1, or they might have at the very least found it, as Purrsion1 with a minute left on the clock still looking for another goal to put them within 1. And that might be it, but Cosmo gonna be able to clear that one away. Tries for the follow, cannot get it. And just so many crucial saves from Fox Clan, just keeping that goal lead. And it is looking desperate for Purrsion1.
To me, it's just looking like everyone, all 3 of the players from Purrsion1 might just be trying to be doing a bit too much. They're not really playing off of each other like they normally do. Going for more solo plays, more direct shots on net rather than these passes, and that's going to make it just a little bit easier for Fox Clan to be able to survive on defense and just hold this lead, as there's only 30 seconds left in this game, and Purrsion1 needs a goal fast, and I just don't see the chemistry that we usually see from them. Too many solo plays, too many of these plays where they're trying to do it all themselves. Good pass there, but it might be too little, too late as maybe they're listening, maybe they're hearing that, but I mean, 5 seconds left. It looks like FoxClan is going to take this one as FoxClan puts Purrsion away in 4.
That is a glorious performance from FoxClan, able to just take down that undefeated team. Just very, very good performance from FoxClan. But you also have to give credit to Purrsion 1 as well, being so dominant up until this point, but just it felt like in that game FoxClan was just on a completely other level.
I mean, this is the second time today we're seeing these undefeated teams that just look untouchable, just one by one falling from their undefeated records. And I mean, we love to see it. All 3 of the series this week today going to 4 games, which is very entertaining series. Lots of goals, lots of great plays by all teams involved, and I mean, well played to FoxClan there, being able to take the upset over Purrsion 1.
Yeah, honestly, just so very well played overall. Just that was just a glorious match of Rocket League. Ducky, Fade, you have anything to say about that one?
I'm back.
There we go. I'm back. Finally, NA production, guys. But yeah, you know, not much to say besides, you know, NA production. But besides that, guys, NA production always reigns supreme. But, you know, I knew FoxClan had it in them. They were popping off against Pro-Gen Rebellion. I was not necessarily, surprised by the result. I definitely think that FoxClan looked like a really good team going into the series, and while Purrsion 1 was able to take the first game, it just seemed like after that first loss that they took, the mental was kind of a little bit different for the team. They seemed a little bit more shaky today, and FoxClan just took advantage of that. And I mean, if anybody's going to score an OT goal, it's going to be Cosmo. So I knew when it went to OT that FoxClan was taking it.
And so I think something that's noteworthy is there's only 2 teams undefeated now that both OwOptic and Purrsion 1 fell today. And those 2 teams are going to play each other tomorrow, that being X3 against Black Bunny, our featured matchup of the week. So I am exceptionally excited. And I mean, after 3 weeks, only 1 team being undefeated shows how competitive this league is, which is just coming back time after time again to deliver great goals and great matchups from these teams.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think, obviously with one team going to be 3-0 in the league, everybody else is going to have a loss. I mean, we've talked about it so many times, but it's just so many teams here are so evenly matched compared to our season 0 that we did. It's really up in the air whichever teams can win on any given week, which makes these matches so much more exciting to watch and really does make it so you really have to improve as a squad every single week if you want to be able to stay in the top. And it's just going to mean getting to playoffs is going to be so much more difficult for teams that cannot stay consistent. Docky, in particular, what do you think about the teams coming in being so evenly matched?
I mean, I kind of expected it to be this way. I expected it to be more so as the season goes on. So I'm happy to see it. It means that we're gonna have. I mean, that was our goal. I think that was everyone's goal going in to this league this season, is to have it be the most competitive it can be, without anyone having a clear advantage. And I mean, this just shows we have exactly that. So. You know, my team lost today. Still happy to see, you know, that anyone can win on any day.
I have to agree. What are you guys taking from this first day, guys? What are you guys looking forward to tomorrow? I guess is the real question.
I mean, first matchup tomorrow, I heard, is kind of going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic matchup. But I might admittedly be slightly biased on that. That being the Dignipaws Purrsion Rebellion. I mean, the storyline, you have the manager of Dignipaws from last year being myself against the old GC2 of Dignipaws from last season, now switching sides over to Purrsion Rebellion and Static. I mean, two former teammates facing off against each other. It can't get better than that, can it?
I mean, I don't really think anything can really best that, except for maybe just like a good stick of DDR4 32GB RAM.
Maybe DDR5?
DDR5 is just a little bit too much for me personally.
I don't believe that in the slightest. I'm personally looking forward to... Honestly, I'm looking forward to Black Bunny and X3 Tactics. As we have said, one of those teams will remain undefeated in the season, and the other will get their first loss, and we'll have to see how they bounce back in week 4. Also, I mean, there's going to be the last match we haven't mentioned, which is Cloud9 versus BDS. A little bit of a bias towards that, but I think that it's going to be a good matchup as well, so I'm very excited to see that. But let's go ahead and show the leaderboard, guys, for today, as we have had all of our matches for today, and that's where we leave our leaderboard at the end. You can see X3 Tactics not playing their game just yet, so they are in that first spot for now. We'll see if they can keep that tomorrow, or if Black Bunny Gaming is going to move up into first, as that is going to be a very important game. The only team that can move up into first is going to be whichever team wins that match. A couple of teams falling. Dignipaws rising up to 5th, and FoxClan up to 6th now. And then Twisted Tails, unfortunately, going to be dropping all the way down to 12th, being the only team so far to be 0-3 on the season. We're going to really have to see how they bounce back in week 4. And after week 4, I will mention the roster lock does drop, so we might see a potential change in a few of these rosters going into week number 5. I'd probably expect to see a change from Twisted Tails if they end up getting a loss next week.
Absolutely, and I think I see, I think LumiMawcity, they did win a game today, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so...
I think I forgot to change them, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's all good, all good. NA production, guys. NA production.
Come on, man.
It'd be like that sometimes, but I mean
the placement's still right, so.
Yeah, the placement is still right, so that should be all good. Ultimately, we're seeing a lot of competition, especially towards that middle of the road teams. So that kind of that 8th through 4th spot, just that's going to be a real fight, I predict, as the season goes on. So hopefully we see some good battles coming into these next few matchups to see who's going to establish themselves towards the middle of the pack and who might taper off and who's going to rise to the top. I mean, there's so many different things that so many teams could do. It's going to be really entertaining to see.
Fixed it.
Yay!
Yay!
Have the win. But yeah, Docky, what do you think about the leaderboard?
I mean, yeah, you know, sad to see my team drop a rank, but that's, you know, we're fine. Again, it's early, so this will look so much different like 2 weeks from now.
I mean, like, theoretically, like, depending on how the matches go, still any one of these teams could be first going into mid-season.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, it's early, but you know, teams are starting to settle. I think that it'll become even more competitive than it already is. You know, 22 weeks total. We're only 3 on the 3rd week, so.
Yeah, I mean, we've got at least 8 more weeks until our mid-season tournament, and we got so many more after that until we get to our playoffs. And everybody gets to play in the mid-season tournament, so the only thing we're playing for right now is seeding into that. And then in that second half, that's when the playoff spots really become very apparent. But when we get closer to that, it's going to be a lot harder to move up in the standings. So teams are going to want to focus on right now making sure they get the best Rocket League that they can in so they can improve later on. But guys, that's going to be it for today. So we are going to hop off of here and get ready for tomorrow. Obviously, RFDL After Dark tonight at around 10 to 10:30 EST. Just make sure that you're following if you're and click that little bell to get the notification of when I go live with that. Just for some fun times, just to chill out with us and have a good experience after a great day of excellent RFDL games. But as I said, that is it for us, guys. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of week number 3. See you guys later.
See ya.
See you all laters.
What was that?